weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and Timber Creek Golf Course want to let you know is your official holiday golf headquarters. Right now, they've got an unreal deal going. Buy two, get one free. These are 12 packs of Srixon golf balls. Srixon has been turning heads all year. I've been using these balls. And, yeah, for the record, my pseudo hole-in-one back in September came off a Srixon tee shot. And people aren't letting me forget it, that's for sure. Listen, these balls will not make you a scratch golfer, but for somebody like me, it makes the ball go more in the direction I want it to go in, and that means quite a bit. So whether you're shopping for the golfer in your life or, let's be honest, you're buying for yourself, hey, stock up now. When you're at Timber Creek, grab a gift certificate for lessons to dial in your game for next season. Whether you're fixing a slice or adding distance, improvement doesn't stop for winter. You got your holiday shopping solved. Srixon, buy two, get one free at Timber Creek Golf Course. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes. On a Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Eve. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And we've made it to another game day against a familiar foe. The Denver Nuggets, the Kings will be taking on the Denver Nuggets. Today is the day they're back home. So if you are going to be at the game, give us a shout out. Come on over. I always forget the numbers for the media section. I think it's 104 or 105, but I'll be there today. You can stop by, say hello, tell me happy holidays. I'll tell you the same. And by the way, speaking of happy holidays, Merry Christmas and all that, Santa Parade, that is on Saturday. I will be there. I will be emceeing along with Chris Verlade, the Santa Parade. We got the script. I know I was joking about the script. We got the script, so I'm going to look over and highlight all the names that I may not know. So Santa Parade is happening on Saturday. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really cold, so bundle up, but we hope to see you out there. Got canceled last year because people didn't, the world wasn't ready for myself and Kyle Draper to MC something together. So rain happened and it got rained out, but looks like we're going to be able to power through this year. So come on out and say what's up and enjoy seeing a lot of the really cool people and really cool organizations within the Sacramento community. So that is on Saturday. We will have more information for you on tomorrow's show as well. As we take you up to 2 p.m. Yeah, there is a ton of stuff, man. You have the Scott Perry interview that Kayla Anderson and Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson did an outstanding job on. So that happened. We have a ton of clips in case you were running around. I know it was at 2:15, so you might have been picking your kiddos up or whatever the case may be. So we have a ton of clips that we're going to play throughout the duration of the show. And then you had Sam Amick on today. So Sam Amick was on today on the morning show. So we will react to everything that Sam Amick had to say and kind of go from there as far as that December 15th. Sounds like, Kyle, December 15th, that's not really a big deal out here in Sacramento. Sounds like for the Kings, December 15th, from what I've seen Sam say so far, sounds like we're not going to wake up on December 15th like it's Christmas morning, and that sounds kind of messed up. For Christmas, Domantas Sabonis is gone. I'm not saying that, but for Christmas, there's $50 million off your payroll. So doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. This thing is going to take some time, which is what Scott Perry has been telling us the whole time. So Sam Amick, great job as always. He's making his rounds. That dude is a hard worker. I hope to see him tonight at the game. I have a good feeling that I will. So we have all of that for you. Thursday night football is going down. And of course, look, I know nobody cares about your fantasy team, but this is a big night for me because I have Baker. Okay, so I could be fried. I could be cooked. I could be fried. That is the deal. So I will be paying close attention, Kyle. I'll be at the Kings game, and I hope that Wi-Fi, that Fidium Wi-Fi is cooking, because I need to see what my guy Baker is doing. So that's what's going on tonight.
You know what's funny? I just realized with you saying that, I mean, obviously I know it's Baker now. I literally had no idea until right now what the Thursday night football game was. Like, I know it's the Bucks now. I have no idea who the Bucks are playing.
Yeah, Bucks Falcons.
Falcon? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So the hope is that, Baker can get us off to a good start here, because I have a rematch with who I played last week, and she has Jalen Hurts, who will be facing probably Kenny Pickett.
Oh my gosh. The chance Kenny Pickett has the chance to do the funniest thing ever, because for those who don't remember, Kenny Pickett was Jalen Hurts' backup last season.
Yes.
And the Eagles said after the Super Bowl, nah, we're straight. We got Tanner McKee. So we're going to send Kenny Pickett to Cleveland. And then Cleveland sent him to the Raiders. God, that would be so funny as they're calling for Jalen Hurts to get benched if his backup from last year outplayed him. That's the funniest thing that could happen.
So that is the breakdown there. And look, I don't necessarily know. I'm just seeing this come through on the chat, Kyle. From what I've seen so far, there are a couple accounts that have a little bit of a cachet, if you will, but they don't even have real names, but people seem to follow them. This Domantas Sabonis Bulls thing, I haven't talked about it on the show because I haven't seen any of the go-tos bring it up. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I haven't seen any of the go-tos. There have been other situations where Jake Fisher has brought up the Bulls exploring a Vucevic package, but outside of, I think you said it to me too, Kyle, these random reports from not the Jake Fishers and not the Brett Siegels. It's these accounts that don't really have names, but it's NBA trade rumors or whatever. There's interest. So that's why I haven't talked about it on this show, because it just seems kind of fishy. Why would the Bulls? I get it. Vucevic and Sabonis aren't the same exact player, but kind of why would the Bulls want Domantas Sabonis? When I see it come through, if I hear anything, you all will be the first to know. But right now, I'm not necessarily spending a lot of time on it because I have not seen. Now, we're going to have the round table. Okay, that's at 12 o'clock. I believe it will be Frankie. Frankie will be out, so it'll be Brendan Nunez as well as Chris Watkins. So if they've heard something, we will find out. Right? But I have not heard that from the big dogs. I have not seen that. I have not heard that from the big dogs. Sam Amick, definitely not Sam Amick. He was on the show today. I'm sure that would have been aggregated already. Haven't heard it from the Shams, the Amicks, the Brett Siegels, the Jake Fishers, the Mark Steins, none of them. So I have not talked about it yet. But if we do see something, we will speak. But I have seen it. Okay, just to let y'all know. I have seen it come through. But those are the types of reports that we just kind of say, okay, let's wait and see if it gets picked up anywhere else. So just wanted to say that because I've seen a couple people say, Allen, you talk about Domantas Sabonis to the Bulls. I will when we get a little bit more junk in the trunk there. All right, so that's kind of how we are approaching that one. Like I said, Kings Roundtable. Sean Cunningham joins us at 11 o'clock. Sean will be, I believe, driving to LA. So we're going to catch Sean on the phone. He's very, and yesterday we were thinking about having him on as we joked, and I sent him 8,000 text messages, but he was kind of caught between practice with the Kings. So Sean is going to be on today at 11, and I'm really excited to talk to Sean and get his thoughts on a week that's had a lot of talking from the Kings between it started out hot. Was Sam Amick, was that Monday or Tuesday? I think
that was Tuesday.
Okay, so it started out hot on a Tuesday, a Tapatio Tuesday, as Sam is on the FanDuel show, as Kyle likes to call it, the Run It Back show. And then you have, of course, Scott Perry coming on. So I want to get Sean's thoughts because, Sean isn't typically the guy that'll come out and say, I'm hearing these rumors, but let me tell you this much. Sean is hearing these rumors, right? So we've had him on the show before, and he's another Brendan Nunez type where if you ask him the right question, again, I love my Nicolas Cage Book of Secrets, National Treasure. If you ask him the right question, you will get a nugget that you may not have thought about before or heard before. So very excited to hear from Sean Cunningham to kick off Beam Talk at 11 o'clock. So I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss it.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Yeah. Who? I don't know.
One day we'll get through. So that's coming up at 11 o'clock. We have our Kings Nuggets preview, but let's be honest. What are we previewing, right? Aaron Gordon, I believe, is still out. That hammy is just not cooperating. Maybe Christian Brown plays tonight. I don't know. We've played these guys.
He is out.
Okay. So nothing has changed from the last time. Take the over on Peyton Watson.
Well, there is one difference. Julian Strother is out.
Oh, my goodness. And isn't Zach LaVine out, too?
Yeah. So Domantas Sabonis out, Zach LaVine out. Different injury this time, though. This is his thumb. And Dennis Schroeder doubtful.
Okay. So there you have it. And we will preview any new pieces.
Nate Clifford start tonight?
You know what? Speaking of rumors, and I hate to do, we don't normally get too spicy on a Thursday, but speaking of rumors, this Dennis Schroeder thing is making me raise an eyebrow a little bit. It's a very tradable contract. It's just something to keep an eye on, I would say. It's something to monitor. Kyle, you said he's doubtful today?
He is doubtful.
It's just something to monitor, right? There have been some birds chirping. The 15th is nearby.
Last year he got traded on the 15th.
I'm just saying he's a very December 15th type of contract. Okay?
That might be the most disrespectful thing you've said about him.
No, I'm just saying keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it. We're close now. It's December 11th. I missed out on the newest edition of the sneaker drop, the Jalen Brunson Kobe's, the Statue of Liberty Kobe's. So another L for me, if anybody did win them. Joe Giroux, if you're out there, let's talk. I don't think we were the same size, but let's talk. Taking you up to 2 p.m., and we are also discussing everything that we wanted to talk about yesterday with Keon Ellis, right? Keon Ellis as a sweetener. We got too caught up in Jalen Hurts being a fullback and talking about what's happening with Jalen Hurts and was it Tanner McKee, one career start. I was like Tanner Mordecai, Tanner McKee, and now
that's a different quarterback.
And now all of a sudden, the conversation is about Malik Willis. So we had some fun talking about Jalen Hurts as they take on not my Raiders, but somebody's Raiders. So we will get to that segment that Kyle worked really hard on as we discuss Keon Ellis as a sweetener, and that'll take you up to 2 p.m. So I wanted to start here and start to debunk the debunking. Now, by the way, we have a ton of sound that we're going to get into in the 10 o'clock hour from Scott Perry. All right. But I wanted to start here because, Kyle, maybe we should go with what Keith initially said, and then we'll hear from Scott Perry. Here it is.
Yeah, this is just a good example of a disconnect between a front office and a coaching staff. I believe wholeheartedly. I've even talked to people in the front office who are still big believers in Keon Ellis, but for whatever reason, Doug Christie is not there. And this is the hard thing for a front office where they can believe in players, right? They draft guys, they sign guys, they trade for guys because in most cases, there's a lot of belief in that player. Sometimes it's strictly a salary type thing, but in the case of Keon Ellis, the Kings went out and got him because they believed in him in the front office. And the challenge becomes in that situation where it is, all right, hey, we believe in him. We're going to force Doug Christie's hands and tell him, hey, you're going to play this guy. And if you don't play him, where's it going to go? And that generally, to me, does not go well either, right? This is where you kind of need that synergy between a front office and a coaching staff. For whatever his reasons, Doug Christie doesn't want to play Keon Ellis right now. He believes in other guys ahead of him in the rotation, at least for a lot more minutes. I'm not entirely sure, what those reasons are. To be completely honest, I've not had a conversation with him about that, so I don't want to, even speculate too deep. But the numbers tell us and the playing time tell us he just doesn't believe in him.
Kyle, I want to throw it to you, actually, and because I don't know if I'm going to be objective. So before I give my thoughts on it, I want to ask you, when you heard that, did it sound like Keith Smith was reporting that there is a disconnect between the front office and the coaching staff?
Okay, so report maybe isn't the word I would use, only because Keith is not a reporter. He's not necessarily out here doing like news breaky type of information like our guy Michael Scotto is. So I don't think he goes into it attempting to like say, this is news. At the same time, he felt pretty strong in his conviction about the front office being fans of Keon, which based on only circumstantial evidence, which is them not re-signing Keon Ellis this summer, instead opting for the player option that allowed him to become an unrestricted free agent, to the drafting of Nick Clifford, things originally drafting of Devin Carter, things like that. It made you kind of pause and say, well, do they really see Keon as part, or the fact that Malik Monk came back this year too, do they see Malik Monk as part of the long-term plan, which then led to, Sam Amick saying a couple weeks ago they're kind of headed for a divorce. Yeah. And Doug always saying, Keon knows how I feel about him. Yeah. And so it kind of went counter to what my thoughts were about the situation, that the front office maybe didn't have as much long-term plan for Keon, but Keith seemed very strong in his conviction, even if I wouldn't call it reporting the news.
Well, here's the thing. Nowadays, not to get too in the weeds on content creation, but we all got to do a little bit of everything, right? The days of I don't break news, the days of I don't do this. You don't want to do that. You don't want to make money, right? So Keith did put out an article at the beginning of the season, or I should say right after Summer League, where he did talk to members of, I don't want to say members of the front office, but sources close to the Kings organization. I would assume some level of members in the front office. And they said that's where we got that whole thing rolling, where they said, we like Keon. There's nobody else like Keon on the roster, things like that. So that was before any of this started. When I personally heard Keith say this, I heard it as a process of elimination. I did not hear it in the way of, I'm telling you that there is a disconnect. I'm hearing it as, I know for a fact that the front office has a belief in Keon Ellis. So because Keon is not playing on a team that has 6 wins, clearly Doug does not have that level of belief in Keon, or something is amiss between them. So maybe I am not being objective, but I didn't hear it as something where, and Whitey had to ask the question, I didn't hear it as something where Scott Perry had to then say, no, there is no disconnect. You can both like him, right? But Doug, you like a lot of people. That doesn't mean you're going to play them. I think all my coaches have liked me. Some of them didn't play me, right? That happens all the time. So I do think, and this is what GMs do, this is not a Scott Perry thing, he found a way to kind of marry, hey, we like Keon, right? We don't know who it's on, really. All we know is that Scott Perry has said Doug can play whoever he wants to play, right? Doug can play whoever he thinks is going to win him basketball games. And then Keith was saying, every time I've talked to the Kings organization, they've said that they like Keon. So if Keon can't get on the floor, maybe disconnect was too strong of a word, but I don't really know what else is there when Keon plays defense. Scott Perry says he likes defense. Doug Christie says he likes defense. And again, might I remind you, they have 6 wins. So Kyle, let's hear what then, because I don't think we have Whitey's question in there, or do we, or is it just the answer? I think it's just the answer.
I do actually have Whitey's question. Look at me thinking ahead.
See, because Kyle knew I was going to be on this. All right, let's hear Whitey's question and Scott Perry's answer.
A lot of people are unclear on something when it comes to Keon Ellis, because we know the team has talked about a commitment to defense. People know that Keon Ellis is a good defender, but his minutes have been limited. And Keith Smith, and I think this was on our station earlier this week, and we were talking yesterday about how this didn't seem right. Keith Smith said there's a difference of opinion on Keon between the coach and the front office. Can you clarify that for our fans?
Yes, I can clarify that the same way I clarified the initial question. There is no difference in opinion on Keon Ellis. We both like him. I mean, Doug has a great deal of respect for him. Actually, Doug knows Keon better than I do. He's coached him here the last couple of years. I'm getting to know and learn Keon with each practice, each game that moves forward. He is a professional. He exemplifies the 6 pillars that you guys have heard me talk about when I talk about being competitive, tough, team-oriented, accountable, professional, and disciplined. It's no secret that we're a smaller basketball team, but we have a number of guards right now. And so there are only so many minutes to go around. But I think as the season moves on, you continue to see Doug push a number of different buttons, and I'm sure that Keon will be the recipient of some more minutes based on whether it be opponents or his play or just, trying to find the right combinations to play. So there's no we like Keon Ellis here.
See, that is how you GM, right? Because, again, that's why I went on social media and I said I'm debunking the debunking, because nothing really got debunked, right? Whitey brought up a disconnect, and I'm not going to get into semantics. We just played the Keith Smith thing. You can make you can take your own opinion and run with it, but you can both like him. You can both like a player. I think they both liked Isaac Jones. I don't know if there are a lot of players that Doug Christie doesn't quote-unquote like. Some of them might be on the team right now, right? But they cost too much. Who knows? I don't know. But saying that they both like him didn't really tell us anything. And to be fair to Dave said that Scott Perry's not going to say, yeah, no, we don't like Keon, right? So it's one of those questions like I joke about when you have your all hands with your company. Hey, are we going to get laid off soon? Yeah, you better start looking now. Fire up that LinkedIn. So Scott Perry's not going to say, yeah, we like him more than Doug or vice versa. But there is a level of you can both like someone, but that doesn't explain why he's not playing.
Yeah, Keith's response had nothing to do with liking a player or not.
They both like him.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with what Keith was saying. Keith's point was more so, I've talked to front office people and they really like him and think he's part of the long-term.
They still have some belief in him is what he said.
Exactly. Yeah. But he's not seeing the floor, and therefore the coach, we infer, is the one who's deciding the rotations and the minutes and things like that. Although I did pause when I heard Scott say in the answer, like, I'm sure that as time goes along, he'll be the recipient of more minutes. Based on, and then he kind of he touched it up afterwards.
He didn't say once we get the old guys out of here.
Yeah, he touched it up afterwards with like based on matchups and situations and stuff like that. But I think the more telling answer was him saying, I think Keon will be the recipient of more minutes in the future, which is a unique thing for a general manager to say in that situation. It's like, so you do wish that Keon were playing more minutes now?
I'm telling you, man. My guy Keith, he came on. Like I said, this turned into a situation, and I think everybody handled it the way they were supposed to handle it. But it turned into a situation where it was, all right, there's been a lot of talk going on. The December 15th date is around the corner. Let's do what we have to do and hop on the home of the Sacramento Kings and kind of clear some things up. But ultimately, time is going to tell. Time is going to tell everything. And as we sit there and wait, and now we hear from Sam Amick today on the show, hey, this thing might take a little bit of time. Okay, well, the longer this thing takes, those are more games where Keon is most likely not going to play. So both sides liking Keon. I just don't. That's why I'm saying there was nothing to debunk, because I saw it was, I think King's Muse came out, and there were a lot of people were live tweeting what was being said as far as the Keon thing. And Kings Muse came out and said Scott also debunked the claim of the front office and coaching staff not being on the same page when it comes to Keon Ellis. There's nothing to debunk. One side, unless Scott was going to say, yeah, we plan on moving him, right, which they were never going to do. The bottom line is he's not playing. So either you're both on the same page and you don't value him as much as you're saying, or you're both on the same page and you do value him, but Doug can't find the time because of other things, the locker room politics and things like that. So there wasn't really anything to debunk. There were no claims. I mean, it's very simple. Sounds like the front office has been telling us they like Keon and he can't play, and Doug has full autonomy.
No, the front office that's been talking to Keith Smith is saying that we're very much still believers in Keon, despite the fact that the decision to allow him to hit unrestricted free agency would signal actually maybe you don't. And Sam Amick said they're headed for a divorce.
Or option D, they're not being truthful to Keith. That's option D.
Or it's difference in opinions, right? What is Scott Perry always talking about? Difference of opinion, alignment in, like, maybe Scott Perry is looking at the Keon situation saying we're okay risking him reaching unrestricted free agency, or he's more valuable right now as a trade chip than being re-signed. Both of those things can be true. But there can be people in the front office who want to re-sign Keon Ellis and believe in him as a long-term part of the team. And there can be others who say, yeah, but we got these 3 second-round picks offer on the table, and we should probably take it because it's the only move Minnesota or New York or one of these second apron teams can actually make leading up to the deadline. So I think both can be true, right? Some people may believe in him in the front office. Some people may believe in him in the coaching staff. But whatever belief level there is, the outcome is he's not playing very much.
The bottom line is he's not playing.
And Sam Amick's saying they're headed for a divorce.
You know, because it's so funny. Because the older I get, I just feel like I'm turning into my father a little bit. Because I'm just hearing my dad right now. If I were to describe it to him, he'd say, well, somebody don't like him. I don't know, Al. If I were to play this for him, he would say, okay, well, how much time is he playing? I don't know, about 6 minutes a game. Well, Al, somebody don't like him. I don't know who, but somebody don't like him. On the other side, let's keep the debunking of the debunking going with the Sam Amick conversation and what Scott Perry had to say there. In case you missed it, we have Scott's reaction to that. Also, his message to fans that are starting to disengage and the availability of Kings players heading into that date, December 15th. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
Taking up to 2 p.m., we will be joined by Sean Cunningham of KCRA in 30 minutes. And one thing that Sean has always talked about is the Kings not really having an appetite for wanting to blow it up. So I'm curious what Sean thinks as far as the reports that have come up, and really Scott Perry, it sounds like, trying to change that culture and what he has heard. So that's coming up in 30 minutes to kick off the 11 o'clock hour. We had Scott Perry on the show yesterday on The Drive Guys, that he was on the station. We've had him on my show before as well. And yeah, I mean, there was a lot, man. He definitely, the beginning of the interview, it was a little Wasabi Wednesday. It opened up the, you're smelling salts a little bit, you know what I mean? It got your blood flowing. I was driving back, and driving back home, and I actually just wasted some gas and drove in a circle a couple times to make sure I caught all of it, because it was a little spicy to start. That's for sure.
Well, I think part of that too is, and again, I don't know this, I'm just putting two and two together, but when the GM hasn't had any real public interview since the start of the season, and then the day after, big report about disconnect between, or convincing ownership to go with a plan, all of a sudden general manager comes on for an interview. Sometimes maybe Scott had a message that he would like to share.
I think without a doubt he had a message. I think what's interesting is, there's certain ways that you can do things, and I'll say it like this information, I don't believe this information, whether it be Dave, whether it be Sam. I mean, Sam Amick had a sit down with Scott Perry. So we know that Scott Perry is giving information to some media members, and maybe Scott Perry just got to the point where, all right, some things are getting misconstrued. You can just hear it from the horse's mouth. So let me hop on the home of the Sacramento Kings and clear it all up. So that's what he did. Kyle, let's kick it on off with what he had to say for those who may have missed it. His reaction to the Sam Amick report on the Run It Back pod. Here it is.
Scott, if we could, let's start with the reports that came out yesterday. The podcast, that's FanDuel podcast. There was a report that you have been trying to get ownership on board with a rebuild that may take 3 to 5 years. That essentially is what Sam Amick said. Was that accurate?
Totally not accurate, false, whatever other strong words you want to put to that. That is not the case at all. First of all, I would never put a timeline on this process, and I'm not going to either this afternoon. And I've said many times before, when I first got this job, my mandate when I got hired here was to build a platform for a long-term sustainable success. And ownership in the front office, we are 100% aligned in that vision and in that goal. And so anything that suggests anything different is just false. So, and I've always had the complete and necessary autonomy to make decisions necessary to achieve this goal. So that's where we're at right now. So hopefully that clears things up for everyone in Kings Nation as to where we sit today.
If I may, Scott, just to follow up, just to clarify, is what's most bothersome to you about that report just the notion that you have been trying to convince ownership of where you should go? Is that the issue that sticks with you guys the most?
That's very problematic for sure, because there's never any convincing that's going on with that. So, no, to be very clear about that, like I said, we're 100% aligned on where what we need to do. I said also when I came in this year, I'm going to evaluate everything too, and we're going to be prudent and patient. You've heard me use those adjectives as well. That in doing that, to build a long-term sustainable winner. That's what I know. It takes some time when you're coming in and you're trying to build a culture, establish a culture. You've got to, I've used the analogy all the time, it's like building a home. If you're going to build a long-standing home, you got to dig 15, 20 feet beneath the surface and pour the concrete. You're not just going to pour the foundation on top of the land. You got to dig deep. That's going to take longer. But when you do that kind of thing, you give yourself a chance at becoming a sustainable winner ultimately. So again, that's the philosophy, that's the vision, and that is the daily work that we hold here.
So initially, NBA Central says Kings GM Scott Perry is trying to convince ownership that it could take another 3 to 5 years to turn the franchise around, per Sam Amick. Then Sam Amick came out and said, to be clear, there is no pushback from Kings owner Vivek Ranadive regarding their current plan. The point, which was said in a big picture sense, is that Scott is making it clear from the top on down that they need to be very patient and prudent here. And then Sam was on the show today and said, essentially something similar. Kyle, we got that as well. Here it is.
I told you yesterday on the phone that I hadn't even listened to the clip myself, so I did at least do the bare minimum here in terms of my homework. Yes, I understand why people took what I said to make it sound as if Vivek was currently right now pushing back on this plan and that Scott was having to, keep him at bay. It was said in a more kind of, general holistic sense because like you alluded to that with various front offices has been the history. And I do, personal opinion wise, think that there has certainly been some messaging going on where, where the front office was trying to set reasonable and accurate expectations, even like among the fan base and ownership about what they believed was the best plan of attack here. And to be honest, Dave, that goes back to, not to get in your business too much, but like that goes back to you, kind of declaring that the rebuild was on however long ago.
Breaking
to
news.
My interview with Scott, where he, kind of unsolicited discussed the fact that he has autonomy So all of those things and even more were why, I phrased it the way I did. Now, admittedly, it's live TV. You don't always exactly hit the mark with, every single word you're trying to say. For the love of God, you know that, Dave.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Jason doesn't. Jason doesn't.
I wasn't ready for that.
Jason's batting 1,000, but not this guy.
No.
But no, that's my 2 cents. But I should have just left it at, good talk. You're correct. Aggregation is annoying.
There you go. So there is the sequence of events. And so I think the main thing is, because like I said, Scott Perry has sat down with Sam Amick, and they know, what Sam Amick brings to the table. And I've seen some, interactions just with media and front office members before. So they're all very familiar with each other. So again, that wasn't Scott Perry, because I know some people, when Sam Amick says stuff you don't like, want to question Sam Amick. I didn't hear that as Scott Perry saying Sam Amick doesn't know what he's talking about. Just like Sam said himself, maybe the wording was kind of purposely contorted a little bit from the aggregation sense, but he cleared it up. And again, the debunking was kind of already debunked. But, Scott Perry wanted to make sure that it was very clear, because, again, this is just the world that we live in right now. When you look at you look at the initial post from NBA Central, right? 562,000 views saw the report that was not necessarily the report from Sam Amick, and that's where that is. So over 500,000 views. Sam says to be clear, and then says what he needs to say to be clear. That gets 101,000, right? So that many more people saw what NBA Central was trying to say, or what NBA Central said. So Scott Perry said, you know what, let me just get on out here and do what I need to do and talk about this and approach it in a specific way. When we return, the availability of Kings players beginning on December 15th. Let's hear what Scott Perry has to say, as well as the young guys. How much does he want to see Maxime Reynaud, Nick Clifford, and the guys he didn't draft succeed? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Hoblet's Wrap the Year Up sales event?
Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Gladiator Willys. You won't find a better combo of off-road capabilities and utility. And if you want to give it a try, you can lease one for as low as $229 a month for 39 months.
I do love the combination of off-road Jeep and truck. There's nothing else like it.
It's truly unique. But remember, Hoblet has whatever you're looking for. With the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, you can find over 200 quality vehicles and dozens under $20,000.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Gladiator Sport S after 12,500 factory rebates and 4,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10,500 national and regional lease bonus cash. Must finance with Ally. Residential restrictions apply. 229 special lease with $995 due at signing for well-qualified buyers with 720 plus FICO score, plus tax, license fees, and dealer accessories. 7,500 miles per year, 30 cents per mile over. Tooth net savings. VIN number 546-334, 546-335. See dealer for details.
Thunder, see the thunder. It's the energy all around you. Lightning and the thunder. The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving, it's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or kohls.com for details.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
15 minutes away from a one-of-a-kind interview with Sean Cunningham of KCRA. That's coming up in 15 minutes. I have a lot to ask Sean.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who? I don't know.
Was that on CBS Sports or what was that?
That's the No Dunks pod.
Okay.
Very popular.
There's a lot of
NBA
dunk
show.
pods. I can't keep up. There's no dunks. There's some dunks. There's one dunk. Two dunk. It's like greenfish, bluefish. There's too many dunk type of podcasts or dunk named podcasts.
If it helps, these are the guys who used to be the starters on NBA TV. If you watched that years ago.
Yes, I do.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who?
But there's
I don't know.
there's a different dunk podcast. There's a lot of dunk podcasts.
Well, obviously, because it's easy. Then there's Dunk Central.
Oh, my gosh. By the way, before we hear from Scott Perry, we're going to hear from Scott Perry about the availability of players and Devin Carter. But did you get a chance to watch the Thunder just annihilate the Suns with no Devin Booker and Jalen Green? I mean, the Suns just shouldn't have got off the plane. They were down. Would they lose? At one point, they were down 50. It was like 83 to 133. It was insane.
Look, Allen, any chance you get to show your might in the NBA Cup quarterfinals, I mean, you have to come to play. This was like a championship night for the Thunder. They're trying to avenge their defeat from last year.
You know, I I might be way off here, but I will say this. Let's say, I'm not saying anybody is going to care about the NBA Cup anymore. And this is specifically for players, honestly, not really fans. Let's say the Thunder win the Cup and then they repeat. There might be something there because there's no momentum with the Cup right now. So humor me on this. I'm not saying anybody, you're going to sit down. I mean, they make you because there's no other games on. That's the best thing that they've done because you want to watch something and then you turn it on and the Thunder are up 50. But if the Thunder complete the sweep, they would be the first team to win the NBA Cup and then win the finals if they were to do both. Maybe there would be a little bit of, hey, this is a new thing that teams kind of set their sights on. Obviously, winning the finals is more important, but how many teams out there swept both and did both because they would be the first team to do it? Trust me, I am not saying this is going to make you sit down and see who's going to win it, right? Are they going to be able to sweep? I'm more so saying for the players, it might be a cool thing to say, we won the check-in. It's like I would call it the check-in championship. That's what I would call it. I wouldn't call it the stupid NBA Cup. I would say this is the check-in championship. We are checking in on where you are as a team, and everybody is bleeping injured, by the way. We're watching the Spurs, who, by the way, the Spurs, the Riverwalk, my goodness.
No Wemby.
No Wemby. Is Carter Bryant hurt too? I don't remember seeing him. Or he's just not playing?
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if I can say this. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, kind of the same hairdo, right? So for prop talk, sometimes it's confused. Hey, was that my guy or was that the other guy? I think Vassell's a little taller. I'm just saying. They're both balling, but when Schmallen has taken one of them, I'm thinking, who was that? You know what I mean?
All these Spurs look alike.
I'm just saying, they got the same hairdo, but of course, it's Devin Vassell when I take Stephon Castle, but they balled out, man.
This is the thing that also is going to stink because Wemby's out. We don't even get the Chet and Wemby hate each other battle in the Cup final because it's just going to be De'Aaron and the crew going up against it, which, by the way, Spurs 10-3 since Wemby's gone out. De'Aaron Fox averaging 30 points per game.
Look, you can do it in spurts.
Look.
Don't ask him to do it all season long.
I haven't done this because I know people will actually get upset if I do it, but I've wanted to do a bit of just me walking in as like a Spurs fan with like cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and be like, this is how we check in on the Spurs.
Yeah.
I love watching this team play, dude. They're so fun.
They are. And we're not going to get into it because we want to hear from Scott Perry. But the main thing I will say is the Harrison Barnes piece. Again, it's weird, Kyle. When I watch it, that's kind of what he was asked to do on the Kings. But I got to watch Dylan Harper really for the first time last night, and he's got some wiggle, man. He's like a bumper car type of player. I was watching them break it down on the post game and otherwise, just how he gets. And it was the Ringer actually, and Bill Simmons talking about it. But I don't know. It's same, but different with Harrison Barnes. He's kind of doing what he was asked to do on the Kings, but I think the Kings were asking him to do a little bit more. The Spurs have more firepower. So when I watch Harrison and he's in the corner, I don't know, I just felt like there were a lot of times we were sitting there saying, where's Harrison Barnes? And he's not in that position, right? It's nice to have him do stuff, but you're not depending on him the same way I think the Kings are depending on him. And I think part of that is because I know a lot of people think I don't like this guy, but it all happened at the same time, right? Harrison, you were asking for more Harrison Barnes because Kevin Huerter forgot how to shoot. So that year after the Beam team, everything went south. So you could pick on one or two things. If Kevin Huerter could still shoot, if Keegan Murray could still shoot the same way he was shooting, then we're not looking at Harrison the same way. There was just no water in a desert that year after the Beam team. And now Harrison's on a team where there are a lot of different cacti out there where you can get water, and Harrison is just sitting there saying, I can get mine when I want to. I can sit in the corner. You're not depending on me, and I do think at this stage in his career, that's where he's used best out here in Sacramento. Well, Keegan's not shooting the way he was shooting. Herter's not shooting the way he was shooting. Harrison Barnes, we kept you. We didn't upgrade. Do something. That's just not who he is.
Especially because during that season, they were kind of making the pivot where in the Beam Team season, he was playing more on the wing, and Keegan was kind of the sit in the corner and shoot threes guy on offense. And then they kind of flip-flopped that during the season after Beam Team in 2024. And now it seems like Harrison's kind of settled into that role on San Antonio, which is all San Antonio asked him to do when he first got there. So, look, he's playing that role great in the power forward spot, but every time I see him go off, I'm like, Sohan, you can't do this? Like, your former number 9 pick?
He must be. Look, I know I grinded the film. Don't worry, he's going to be a king.
I already wanted him to be a king, so I hope so.
Kyle, let's hear from Scott Perry as he discussed the availability and working the phone lines as December 15th approaches.
There's 30 teams in this league, and there are 30 people that hold my position. Yep, I'm one of those 30. And even before, quote unquote, December 15th, what everybody is the big date where more guys who signed over the summer, quote unquote, are eligible to be traded. You're constantly on the phones, listening, trying to figure out how and ways to improve your team, just like the other 29 general managers are doing. I think what I would caution the fans of and say to the fans that just because certain dates are on the calendar doesn't mean that there's a subsequent trade coming. Trades are very difficult in professional sports and in particular in the NBA because you may have a goal in mind, what you want to get accomplished. Now you have to go out and find a partner who also has a similar goal in mind in terms of they like what maybe you're open to sending out, and you have to like what they're open to sending back. Then there's a financial component to every trade. There's so many variables that go into making a trade ultimately come to fruition. So very difficult, but I think the one thing that Kings fans can rest assured of is that we'll be working the phones. We have our eyes and ears to the ground. We're going to be opportunistic and prudent where we need to be, and if there's something that makes sense for us that aligns with our vision and goals, then and works for the other team or teams involved in the deal, then we'll be able to make that deal at that time.
We're at the point now, and I don't think I'll get in trouble for this. We're at the point now where we need a Scott Perry bingo card. We do, right? Prudent, opportunistic, and I'll say this. I don't think I'm going to get in trouble because even he is starting to say, you've heard me say some of this stuff before. So he's acknowledging it. Help me out. Help me out, chat. Help me out, text line. Kyle, prudent, opportunistic, patient.
Alignment.
So
foundation.
What was it?
Foundation.
Sustainable. We got 6 words here.
Culture,
and next time we're having on the show, well, if it's not my show, we can't do it on my show, but if he's on one of the other shows, and something tells me he's going to be on Carmichael Day's show the next time, I'm not going to get into that one.
I mean, in fairness, we had him at Media Day when you asked him about Kuminga.
No, we did, yeah, and then I got banned because I asked him about Kuminga. So we have 7 words there, and you're not supposed to do that by name. 7 words there.
By the way, they were making fun of you about that before the show.
I know. 7 words there. We need more words for our Scott Perry bingo card. And I'm going to talk to my boss and see if we can get a winner if somebody gets the bingo next time Scott Perry is on the show. When we return, you do not want to miss this. Sean Cunningham gives the most recent update on all things Sacramento Kings and what he's hearing. You do not want to sleep on Sean. This guy has been covering the team for a very long time, and he always has these little nooks and crannies that he doesn't come out with as often as everything else. So you're going to hear that when we return. Now in South Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This Sactown Sports 49ers report is being brought to you by Kia of Vacaville.
located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco improves to 9-4 with a road win in Cleveland, 26-8. Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy both rushed for touchdowns in the victory. The defense was stellar, forcing 2 fumbles and holding Shadur Sanders to just 115 yards passing. Next up for San Francisco is Tennessee. You can catch all the action on Sunday, beginning at noon, right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Rights reserved.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
Cause you are a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments. Some restrictions apply.
I'm with Vince Bloom, the big deal guy at Folsom Lake Dodge. Vince!
Actually, this time of year, you can call me the Holiday Big Deal Guy.
The Holiday Big Deal Guy!
Because during the wrap-up the year sales event at Folsom Lake Dodge, you can save over $18,000 net savings off MSRP on a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4.
I'll take it.
And for a stocking stuffer,
keys to a Jeep,
a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Sport S. Right now, I've got one for only $36,995.
That's why they call you the Big Deal Guy. So over $18,000 off a Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab
and a Jeep Wrangler Sport for only $36,995. But you'll only find these big holiday deals at one place.
That's right, only one place. At Folsom Lake Dodge in the Folsom Auto Mall
and online at FolsomLakeDodge.com.
Ram includes 9873 dealer discount plus 8207 in national stackable and holiday bonus cash. Then SN 667196. Cheap includes 4250 dealer discount plus 12750 in bonus national retail loyalty and holiday cash. Must be current owner of SCA vehicle to qualify for loyalty bonus cash. Then SW 543907. See dealer details. Expires 1/2/26.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
1 hour down, 3 to go. Another name, another word that we saw on here from the chat. And by the way, we got Tony Hinchcliffe tickets in 2 hours. That's at 1 o'clock. Another word we saw was discipline on the Scott Perry bingo card. That definitely deserves to be on the Scott Perry bingo card.
Can we just do the whole phrase, diversity of thought, unity of purpose?
No. Each one. Each one. This is going to be quite the bingo card. 916-339-1140, taking up to 2 p.m. And Sean Cunningham, who always is up to date on the Kings info. Sean of KCRA, thank you so much for joining us, man. How you doing?
What's up, Allen? How are you guys doing today?
Good. Cannot complain, Sean, and we really appreciate you taking the time. I wanted to start here because I know that you're always running around doing stuff, and you got state playoffs for football. There's a lot going on. Obviously, the Kings, Sac State. We might have some time for that as well. How much have you heard as far as, we'll call it, the Kings drama saga this week with Sam Amick on the FanDuel show, and then Sam and Dave and Carmichael Dave kind of saying, hey, there isn't a disconnect, and then Scott Perry on the show today, on yesterday's show with the Drive guys, and then Sam Amick on today's show talking about it. How up to date are you on that, and what are your thoughts on what all happened?
I don't. What's the question, Alan? I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to in terms of what's been on the radio station necessarily. I did hear Scott Perry's interview this morning, which was cool. So I can kind of talk about that. But in terms of I don't. What's the? I don't understand what you were asking me. Sorry, buddy.
I'm just saying. Did you hear about the Sam Amick thing? Let's start here. Let's start there.
No. What did Sam do this time?
No, Sam didn't do anything. Sam didn't do anything. He was on a FanDuel show, and he got aggravated that that there was some level of convincing that Scott Perry was having to do with Vivek about how long this rebuild was going to take. So I wanted to bring you in on this because you've been the one where we've had you on the show and you've said there hasn't typically been an appetite for a rebuild. So maybe we'll ask it like that. Have you heard that the appetite for a rebuild has changed, or has that appetite just had to change because of where they currently are in their process?
No, I mean, I certainly can answer that. I mean, in terms of discussions I've had, that word still has never come up once. Mm-hmm. Even when I broach, hey, rebuild, like nobody comes back and says, yeah, that's what we're doing. I would also probably point out that Scott Perry didn't use that word once in the interview yesterday on your radio station. Mm-hmm. So, in terms of like convincing, I mean, look, Scott Perry is going out of his way and unprovoked to say he has full autonomy to build this basketball roster and make decisions. That is true until it's not. And all you have to do is look at your history. I mean, every GM that has come through Sacramento has said the same thing up until it's not. And then when you do debriefs with them afterwards, like Ron Adive and it's not exclusive to Sacramento. Every ownership group is involved in the NBA and in professional sports. Mm-hmm. And it's I almost kind of sound like a broken record at this point, but yes, you have autonomy to be able to build the roster until you don't. And what happens is oftentimes is that he is involved in terms of the decision making. So if there's, something, major that has to happen, he's going to be involved, but if it's something tertiary, it's not going to be as involved, but he's going to know what's going on with his team. He owns the team, and that shouldn't be, I think what people, when they hear that the ownership is involved, is they picture, oh, he loved Buddy Hield, they got Buddy Hield. He loved Zach LaVine, they got Zach LaVine. Those kind of moves, and oftentimes, where there's smoke, there is fire. But no, I mean, Vivek Ranadive once employed Scott Perry to do exactly what he's doing now. He didn't last very long because he got another opportunity to go to the Knicks, and he has Scott Perry back as a part of his organization with a much, much, much larger role than what existed before. And that's by design. He trusts Scott Perry, and he trusts Scott Perry to steer this organization in the right direction.
See, Sean, we got there. We got there eventually. We had to take MapQuest, right? But we got there. Talking to Sean Cunningham of KCRA. Sean, let's take it to the court. The Kings have the Nuggets tonight for what feels like the 17th time. Where are you at as far as Doug and the distribution of playing time? Do you think Doug is going about it, I guess, quote unquote, the right way? A lot of people are saying enough with the vets. Zach LaVine is out tonight. Dennis Schroeder is out tonight. And honestly, it feels like it hasn't been a huge issue because these guys can't get healthy. Maxime Reynaud getting time because Domantas Sabonis is out. But where are you at as far as the job Doug Christie has done, I guess, relatively speaking? And is this what you expected from him? Did you expect to see more of, I don't know, Keon, and now Devin Carter is with the G League squad? Give me your thoughts on Doug and the job he's done so far.
Yeah, I think Doug's trying to figure it out. I mean, this is not a record that's indicative of what they thought they would be at, but you knew you were going to be. I mean, we talked before the season started, Allen, and the belief was from people I had talked to and just kind of looking at your own tea leaves and looking at the depth and how this roster is constructed, that they would have to, if they were going to have any success, they were going to have to really rely on a lot of veterans to be able to do that. Clearly, I don't know that a factory reset has been pushed with this team. I mean, I think Doug Christie's just trying to figure it out from one night to the next, get to know his roster, get to know various lineups, what five play well with other fives, and kind of tinker. He's had so many different starting lineups. He's, I think the notion that, hey, play the young guys. This team doesn't have a lot of young guys. Right. So it's like you can't roster a starting five that has a five dudes that are going to have any, sort of success. And so, where other teams, might have a Cooper Flag or a high lottery pick, you have, Nate Clifford, who was a low first-round pick that no disrespect to him. I mean, he's hopefully going to turn into a very, very nice player for this organization. And you have a budding second-round pick in Maxime Reynaud, and, Keon Ellis is still young, and I don't even want to call Keegan Murray young, but certainly he's part of the future going forward. So with the extension, I mean, there's not like Devin Carter is still a question mark because obviously his inability to be able to play point guard, and he's in the logjam that Scott Perry and Doug Christie refer to with the depth on this team and how it's constructed. So there's a lot of frustrations. I get it, especially when the team's not doing well and you have some guys that you might have some question marks and you might want to see a little bit more, but you're not even, 25 games into the season. So there's still a long stretch to go. And not to say that they are going to or have the ability to turn around, even though some of these players do think that they can turn their fortunes around. I've kind of said a lot of it that kind of falls into the lap of Scott Perry to kind of save them from themselves. And this thing's spiraling, and Doug Christie realizes that, ultimately it's a wins and losses type of business. And if, he wants to remain employed by the Sacramento Kings, he has to find wins and find success. And, the notion that, that he's going to be absolved of any blame may not be necessarily realistic at the end of the season. So he's got to be able to find and search and claw, and he's got veterans on this team that, not most of them haven't experienced a great deal of winning, but certainly they're on this team and they do give them the best chance of doing so. So, it's a tough one for Doug. I really feel for him because navigating his team and finding solutions that also, let's face it, his future is kind of in the balance as well. So, it's his call. He's got the roster. He gets to do the minutes. But I would argue, my own personal view of it, playing the veterans is fine. You go and do that. But even if they were 10 games above 500, I don't know that playing the likes of DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook 40 minutes or even above 32 minutes a game is good for their success this season, for the player or even for the team. So somehow he's got to be able to manage those minutes because I don't think that's going to do either one of them any favors.
Sean Cunningham of KCRA. Sean, you talked about the present and we've talked about the future a little bit. We had a conversation that we stumbled upon yesterday, and it was kind of in comparison to Trae Young, right? How Trae Young was drafted to kind of be the guy, and now you have Jalen Johnson, who he's 23 years old, and Trae Young is now 27. So the Hawks are in an interesting spot where it's kind of not your team anymore. And it got me thinking, Sean, about Keegan Murray and how everything that we've heard is that Keegan Murray is going to be a part of this future, and obviously the Kings just gave him the extension. But when you look at the timelines of all this, like you said, Keegan is a younger player on the Kings, but he's not necessarily young. And what we stumbled upon was a world where Keegan might be this guy that's in a kind of Cam Johnson situation, Mikal Bridges situation, where he's getting opportunities to kind of grow himself and showcase himself. But if the Kings are doing this through the draft and drafting 18 and 20-year-old players, isn't there a world where Keegan could find himself in a Trae Young situation, and as this thing kind of flips over, they could look at him and say, all right, cool. And, of course, Keegan could take that leap and be, one of the dudes in the league, but they could also look at him and say, all right, we've done pretty well. It's been a couple years now. We have a couple draft picks. Do we want to continue with Keegan, or do we maybe want to cash our chips in and get even more draft picks since our timeline has changed a little bit? Where do you think this could go with Keegan Murray?
I mean, you laid it out pretty good there. I think it can go anywhere. Luck has to factor in there. Opportunity factors in there. I think the tough part is in hearing that circumstance is like you're looking like 3 years down the road, 2-3 years down the road, maybe even a year down the road. You have to look in the present and plan for your future. And Keegan Murray is a player who's trending upwards and has you like where he's at now. You think he can be something different. You're paying for what you have now and hopefully for the future. But make no mistake, if they can get better by moving Keegan Murray at some point, they'll do that. I mean, I realize that they'd rather not, and there's, no one that's untouchable, but you're not really shopping Keegan Murray based off of, your contract. Now, opportunities being what they are, I mean, look, he came into this league as a shooter, as a shooter, and he's turned into a two-way player with some 3-and-D. So I would argue that he's become a much, much better player than what he came into the league as, and he's projected very. I think his trajectory has been very nice, considering he's played with, a young team. He's played with veteran teams. He's played with guys who are more higher in the scoring pecking order, if you will. He's played with some offenses that are very free flowing, get up and down. But to your point, like if he, just because that they've got this commitment to him, it doesn't mean that it necessarily pans out either. So in the grand scheme of things, 3 years from now, we could be seeing him on another team playing out that contract. That's just the reality of professional sports. But I think a lot of opportunity and luck has to go into it. It's also Keegan has to perform. So this team, that's the tough part is if you look at the team coming into the season, I would say, your number one guy was Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, probably Keegan, maybe in your third option in terms of what your core would be, or how you define what your core is. At this point in this point of the season and where the Kings are going, certainly Zach might be still the face. Keegan certainly is the future, but it's not like you have some beacon of light like a Cooper Flagg or a Stephon Castle or Victor Wembanyama. You don't have like a young star. You have a nice player, and you have an aging guard who can get you points, but you don't have that real beacon of ray of hope that fans can kind of glom onto. This is kind of what it is here, and in comparison to a lot of other teams in the league that have this, budding star type of player that they're willing to invest in, they look at Keegan as potentially maybe being there, but obviously, I don't know that anyone, just being honest, would be looking at him as saying that guy's a top 10 future player in this league that will have star power and all these things. So it's tough, man. It's going to be upon him to try and go out and seize the moment and capture and be able to, absolutely take a big leap. But he's also got a lot of vets around him that still score the ball. So I think everyone tends to judge a lot of these players based off scoring ability rather than overall performance. I'd say, in my mind, Keegan Murray is his development and where he's situated is fine. It's just not necessarily. I wouldn't peg him to be an all-star in the future, but anything can happen, right?
That is correct, Sean. Talking to Sean Cunningham, KCRA. Just a couple more for you, Sean. And this is a big one that I really wanted to ask because you do a great job on KCRA of being in the I don't have locker room access. I don't need locker room access, but Sean has locker room access. And Sean, you do a great job asking questions to the players, right after the games and getting their emotions on everything. Sean, I just want to ask you this. As somebody who I know has a pulse of the team, do you think there is any level in that building, right, of players, specifically the vets, of course, that are maybe just kind of waiting for this thing to be over?
You think? Yes, 100%. Like if you, look, no one's formally, to my understanding, has, gone up to management and said, get me the hell out of here. But trust me, in conversations that I've had, there are guys who would, from a mental capacity, have their bags packed ready for the next opportunity. So, yeah, absolutely. But, things in the NBA can change very, very quickly, very, very quickly. So, there's that doesn't. I've seen that happen before, and I've seen a player commit to Sacramento long term. You don't have to. Even Chris Webber, who wanted nothing to do with Sacramento and coming here, and then seeing how well this team was able to play. That's obviously a well chronicled and familiar story to old head Kings fans who, back in the glory days, things can change very, very quickly. And we've gone from seeing players who very much want to be here, and even through it all, you still have. I'd throw out Malik Monk right there. He's a guy who absolutely still has a desire to want to remain in this city, built a home, building his future, all that stuff. And he's certainly been a part of trade rumors. So it can affect guys both positively and negatively. And yeah, there's definitely people that want to stay and other guys that would welcome the green light to get the hell out of town.
Sean Cunningham. Yeah, Malik is the one. And honestly, I think it was from a question that you asked when I saw you posted in one of the post games in the locker room. Yeah, you can tell that Malik is, it was the whole passing the ball thing, and how you can tell that he's trying to make this squad the best that it can be, where I don't know if that's the thought process for all of these guys. Just one more for you, Sean, of KCRA. Be sure to catch it. Go ahead.
And sorry, buddy, but before you, I think it bears pointing out, it's like you really feel for these players. Mm-hmm. I can't help but feel. Maybe there's a cynical fan out there that to hell with all these guys, blah blah blah, get them out of here, tank, do all this stuff. But it's like, so this is just a very tough situation because it's a team that really isn't built for the NBA today, right? And to be able to compete, and especially in this West, and I think everybody saw the flaws going into the season, and players always have their utmost confidence that they can do anything. And you've got guys like DeMar DeRozan who feed off of some of the negativity that surrounds them, or critics, if you will, who say, oh, you guys can't be this, that, or whatever. Players are always going to think that they're able to turn anything around and just win and string together. That's the crazy thing, Allen, for as bad as this has been, I pointed out on the podcast the other night, only 3 games out of 10, which is wild for a play-in situation. So, it just speaks to it. But I really feel for the players because it's, they do what they do. Some guys are asked to play different roles than what they're used to try to find this team success. And there's just so many factors. There's a laundry list of things that you could just pick apart with this team that just factor into the failure that has been this earliest part of the season. So, I just feel for them, man. It's tough.
Yeah, I hear you, Sean. And trust me, the cynical fans, we see them a lot. They're millionaires. We get it. And, the theme of this show always is to be able to compartmentalize and to say, hey, relatively speaking. So I hear you on that. But now, Sean, you earned yourself a bonus question because you were talking about guys playing out of position. So I only had one more for you, but now I have 2 just real quick. How important do you think it is, because we had Keegan Murray's Pops on the show, and we're going to do it again very, very soon. How important do you think it is for Keegan to get back to being a 3 instead of a 4. Do you think that is a big deal within the organization? Do you think they don't see it as that important and he can just flip-flop and do both? Obviously, Precious Achiuwa has been really good for, the Kings have two of the best value deals in the NBA, by the way. But what do you think the importance is in that building when we talk about Keegan taking that leap, and when you mentioned maybe playing out of position, what do you think that importance is to get Keegan back to a 3?
I think it depends on who you talk to, but I would say more times than not, especially with someone like Doug, I think they would like to play him at the 3 almost exclusively. But this team is built in a certain way where, he had Nick Clifford playing power forward at one point. That's not advantageous, I think, for anybody. So, I think it's just gonna be tough, man. It's positionless basketball at the end of the day. I think that's the way they try to look at things, and with the way they are completely undersized when they go up against the majority of teams in this league this year, maybe you see it toward the end of the year, but I think Keegan just has to play bigger more times than not. So, but I do believe there's a desire to want to see him at the 3, but you've got to be able to piece the right pieces around him, the right personnel around him to be able to do that. And I just don't think they've been able to yet. Since Domantas Sabonis has been in Sacramento, he's never had a rim protecting 4 who can stretch the floor. And the closest thing to a rim protector that they had, in my opinion, was Jonas Valanciunas, and we saw how that went. So that's been tough to me. If you're going to have someone like Domantas Sabonis, and to me, having a top tier point guard for success in this league, you need to have like a upper echelon top 15 point guard in the league, in my opinion, to sustain any sort of postseason success. But I think for the Kings, the white whale has been a rim protecting stretch 4 that you can pair next to Sabonis, a la Aaron Gordon, Paolo Banchero, Miles Turner, things like that, where if you can have somebody who has the ability to do that, would Trey Murphy, things like that would really fit in nicely and pair next to him. And that's been a failure on this organization's part to not be able to find that piece. And it's tough because that is truly the unicorn.
Sean Cunningham. All right, just a quick one for you, Sean, since I gave you that bonus. I have to ask you this. If you have a crystal ball, right, what do you think happens this go-around? December 15th is around the corner. What do you think happens this go-around at the trade deadline? I don't think, you look at the big contracts of the vets, I don't think all 3 of them will be gone, maybe one of them. What is your best guess as to what happens this go-around by the time the trade deadline comes and goes in February?
Yeah, I'm interested to see it because, I don't, right now sitting here in December before the 15th, it doesn't feel like there's much of a market for this team to improve, especially necessarily for this year, but at least for some of the guys that you'd probably want to trade, some of these larger contracts and things of that nature. So I'm interested to see, like I mentioned, things can change very, very quickly. So I think there might be a little bit of a staring contest and kind of see what happens with, Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee, John Morant, some people that have been obviously big ticket items that are rumored to be out there. Personally, I don't think either one of them get moved. I think Milwaukee probably should move Giannis because, he's only got another year left before he can opt out after this season, and Milwaukee should try and get something. And they're actually, in my opinion, much better built to actually pull off a rebuild and hit a reset button than someone like the Kings that have so many bloated contracts that obviously will come off in 2027. So a lot of these contracts, when they fall off, it kind of happens naturally. So to me, I feel like Milwaukee is one to watch. But if you're the Kings, you look at all these situations, and if the league kind of gets this halt and everyone's kind of looking at Milwaukee to see what they might do, a lot of these teams are trying to shed salary. You just look at the salaries of the teams that are paying luxury taxes, and so many teams are so close to that second apron and all these aprons that are involved, and the luxury tax is just crippling a lot of teams' movement. So, if you can somehow be advantageous and be able to kind of hitch your wagon to some of these teams that are trying to shed salary, and it might make you better, and maybe you can get some picks in the meantime as well as all along with it. I think that would go a long way for trying to reshuffle the deck here and see what you can come out with. But I think a lot of teams are going to be looking to do the same. So, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what the market's like, but I'll be curious to see what we're looking like a little bit closer to Christmas. I mean, you've got, just for fans who may not know, you've got the NBA Cup coming up, and I know, Kings aren't a part of that, but that's a great opportunity for a lot of executives around the league to get together. Then you've got the Winter Showcase for the G League. That's where all the GMs around all the executives from basketball get together, and it's almost like their winter meetings for baseball. So a lot of deals kind of get talked about and kind of begin there. Some have already begun, obviously, but that's definitely an event that is circled on the calendar for the Sacramento Kings to be able to hopefully meet with some movers and shakers and see what you can come away with, and at least know the value of some of the players on your team.
Sean Cunningham, thank you so much, Sean. Always a pleasure. I owe you a text message. I know we're gonna kick it next week, so we will have some fun. But Sean, we appreciate you taking the time as always, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, man. Did you get your Bottle Rock tickets this morning? I had to wake up secure. So
I didn't even see the lineup. You know what? I got to check this.
You don't need to. Okay. You don't need to. That's the fun. Have you ever seen a lineup at Bottle Rock you didn't like? You have Napa. You've got great weather, Memorial Day weekend. That's the selling point. The music's secondary.
All right. Fair enough. And a little bit of cornhole. That's always a good time. Sean Cunningham, KCRA 3. Be sure to check him out. One of the best follows for Kings Twitter. Sean, we'll talk to you soon, man.
You got it, guys. Take care.
All right. Let's react to everything Sean had to say on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than our 2025 Accord, Pilot, and Ridgeline clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and Timber Creek Golf Course, want to let you know, is your official holiday golf headquarters. Right now, they've got an unreal deal going. Buy two, get one free. These are 12 packs of Srixon golf balls. Srixon has been turning heads all year. I've been using these balls. And, for the record, my pseudo hole-in-one back in September came off a Srixon tee shot, and people aren't letting me forget it, that's for sure. Listen, these balls will not make you a scratch golfer, but for somebody like me, it makes the ball go more in the direction I want it to go in, and that means quite a bit. So whether you're shopping for the golfer in your life or, let's be honest, you're buying for yourself, hey, stock up now. When you're at Timber Creek, grab a gift certificate for lessons to dial in your game for next season. Whether you're fixing a slice or adding distance, improvement doesn't stop for winter. You got your holiday shopping solved. Srixon, buy two, get one free at Timber Creek Golf Course. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Now is the time before winter is full on in your kitchen to make sure your heat or your furnace is ready. How do you do that? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating will get the job done for you like they did for me last winter when our system crashed and burned in the dead of winter. Check them out, leesair.com. Right now, get $100 off any AC heating or plumbing repair. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating does it all, and they've been doing it at a high level for 40 years. See how they can help you stay warm and cozy all winter at leesair.com. That's Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Great stuff from Sean Cunningham. So we have, there's something going on here, man. All right. So there is the whole break thing. Now I tell y'all, whenever it's a good guest, I don't care about the breaks, right? We're going to make sure that we get all the information out there for you. But I don't know. Something weird is going on today because Chris Verlade walks in and he picks up the phone, okay, as I'm finishing up with Sean. And all of a sudden, Sean starts talking about Bottle Rock and all this stuff. I think Chris was a mole. I think Chris said, hey, Sean. While I was wrapping up with Sean, I think he said, Sean, keep going. I think that's what happened. Kyle, I think you're in on it too.
I just don't. He would have had to do it from the start of the interview. Now, okay, if this does help your conspiracy theory, Sean did ask me when I was getting him on the phone, how long do you think this interview's gonna go for? I told him about 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he decided 20 was going to be 25. Maybe 25 was going to be 30.
If I love small talking with Sean, it's just Verlade being in there was questionable to me.
You think Verlade was
yeah, I think I'm winning. By the way, I'm winning a perfect score last week when it comes to hitting all of our breaks.
Allegedly.
So Chris Verlade came in and sabotaged.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
Lost 2 points.
Yeah, I think he came in and sabotaged.
So you think that mid-interview he informed Sean that's what he was supposed to do?
That's right.
Even though once you then started accusing him, he then, while next to me, had to explain to Sean what the joke was.
I didn't hear that.
I heard it. He was explaining to Sean how we had a break competition. So Sean clearly was confused at you yelling at him while Verlade was talking to him on the phone.
It was clearly Verlade, and you can't convince me otherwise. Great stuff from Sean Cunningham of KCR RA3. And this is the number one place I'm taking this, Kyle, is, Sean.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who? I don't know.
Kyle. Come on now.
I mean, that time I read you saying Sean Cunningham before you said Sean Cunningham.
No. And the number one thing, and Sean did not use the word or the term checked out or checking out. He did say they would pack their bags and would be happy to pack their bags. So that's how I'm taking it, Kyle. I'm not going to sit here and disrespect anybody and say anybody's name on the air who I think it is, but clearly what you're seeing with your eyes, and I'll say it like that. To all the fans out there that are seeing something with their own two eyes and feels like, seems like that person doesn't want to be there, you're on to something. Maybe you can't tell. Maybe you can. But I knew Sean would have a good pulse on that because he's in the locker room, and there are clearly some guys that are, for lack of a better term, going through the motions and just waiting for this thing to be over. Just waiting to get that call, right? I don't know if remember Antonio Brown on the Raiders? Was it that Hard Knocks when he had messed up his feet or something like that, and he got the call that I think he got traded from the Raiders? It wasn't to the Raiders.
You mean the Freedom where he's running around his yard? Yeah, that was getting cut.
He was getting cut from the Raiders. I don't think anybody is going to be that happy, but it does sound like guys are ready for this to be done.
That was the call, again, in hindsight, it's so weird. That was the call that he had lost $30 million because the Raiders were cutting him.
Yeah, I mean, geez. Obviously, nobody's comparing anybody to Antonio Brown, but the more recent version of that is Brandon Ayuk. But he only lost $25 million.
Yeah.
Only a nice $25 million. So, yeah, if you feel like, man, Allen, I'm watching this, and the games that I'm watching, it seems like some of these guys are checked out. Now, I don't know who, right? We know Malik isn't, because he's the one who is saying, hey, can we pass the ball? Can we do this? Can we do that? And you know what? I should say, I wasn't going to say names, so I won't say definitively anybody. But just from what I've heard.
Sean did say Malik is not.
Right. And I would agree.
He said Malik's build home here, wants to be part of the turnaround. Sean said it.
Now, that doesn't mean that Malik doesn't want this iteration of the Kings to end. He doesn't want to leave himself, but he could want, just like we've said about Domantas Sabonis not being happy about his usage. That might not be about Domantas Sabonis wanting to leave because he has a great time out there in Napa, got his new wine and everything like that. But it might be a version of, but y'all could go, though. I want to stay, but yeah, let's get some of these dudes up out the paint. So that was the number one thing that I took away from what Sean had to say. Everything else, the Doug Christie wanting to, everybody wants Keegan to play the 3. So my question is, how important is it to get somebody at the trade deadline? I'm not going to say the dude from the Clippers because people get on me. His name rhymes with Tom Dollins. I'm not going to say his name. But how important is it, at the very least, if you're saying we want to see what Keegan can do, right? Isn't part of seeing what Keegan can do putting him in the best position to see him succeed? So I understand. I put it to you like this. Ain't nobody worried about the Kings. Remember that. If the Kings get Tom Dollins, they're going to win too much, right? Remember when Dave said that? They could get Tom Dollins and somebody else, they could win too much. I don't think we have to worry about that, people. Go get a 4 on an expiring contract and at least let Keegan Murray play the 3 once you get the vets out the paint. On the other side, we're finally doing it. Kyle's hard work, all right? That's why we're breaking on time. If Sacramento moved Keon Ellis and one of the veterans, like Brett Siegel mentioned, what would a trade even look like? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume: the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblett, Hoblett Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Hoblett's Wrap the Year Up sales event?
Right now, you can save up to $12,500 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesmans with no payments for 90 days. That means you drive home a new Ram today and don't make your first payment until March of next year. Or you can save up to $5,250 off MSRP and get 0% for 72 months, saving you thousands in finance charges.
Everyone keeps saying 0% is impossible to find. I guess they weren't checking at Hoblett.
We strive every day to get our customers the best deals on the truck they need. Affordability is key, and right now we have new 2025 Ram 1500 starting as low as $34,995.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HoblettDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 12,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman after $7,250 factory rebates and $5,250 dealer discount. Rebates include $4,750 national, 10% below MSRP rebate. 2,000 holiday select inventory, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. To this net savings, sample VIN 197717. See dealer for details.
Staples presents an easy holiday.
My holiday list was a mile long.
Fa la 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 boo hoo hoo.
Staples made it easy with big savings on tech gifts.
I'm listening.
And I saved big on custom holiday cards, too. Plus, Staples has UPS shipping in-store.
Holy flying reindeer. Shop Staples today for 50% off custom cards, invites, wrapping paper, labels, stamps, and photo gifts.
That was easy.
In-store and online expires 12/20. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
For quality service you can trust, visit your locally owned Big O Tires. Now through January 4th at Big O, get $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nitto, Toyo, or Nexen brand tires. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Great stuff from Sean Cunningham. And in 15 minutes, we just keep it rolling for you. I told y'all we're not messing around as we head towards the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all of them. We are not taking our foot off the gas, okay? We are taking you all the way up. I don't even know what the holiday schedule is. I don't have any additional time off, if anybody was curious. I don't have any. I don't know about my colleagues, but I will be here.
I will be gone.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm gone the week of Christmas, but this is where I'm confused. So Monday, Tuesday, definitely we have shows of Christmas. Wednesday's Christmas Eve, Thursday's Christmas. So those 2 days we definitely have off. There's a random Friday the day after Christmas that is not officially scheduled as a holiday. But everyone's going to be calling out on that Friday, the day after Christmas.
Okay.
So will we have shows that day? Won't we? I guess we'll find out.
If I'm supposed to be here,
I won't be here either way.
Yeah, if I'm supposed to be here, I'll be here. We got to talk to Boss Man about that. But as we take you up to that week of Christmas and into the week of Christmas, we're not taking our foot off the gas, man. We're going to be joined by Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins. That is in 15 minutes. And by the way, I understand. Look, we get so caught up, and a lot is going on. The GM of the Kings, Scott Perry, spoke on our airwaves. We had to get you that. We also obviously wanted to get to the Sam Amick piece and then Sean Cunningham. We're nearly 2 hours into the show, and I didn't talk about and I'm not trying to make light of it. We're still trying to figure out what the details are. The potential bag fumble of the century in Sharon Moore and what he allegedly has done. There's still a lot and part of the reason I didn't lead the show is because – yeah, Kyle, we were talking about it during the break. There is the initial level of the infidelity. That's kind of all we know.
Well, then we know after he was arrested.
Yes, and then he was detained. Not the A word. He was detained, I believe, was the term.
I don't know. I think he spent the night in jail.
Detained?
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Maybe arrest was. I saw detained.
I guess
which is a word that
arrest technically has to have charges associated with it.
And that's all we know. That's all I've seen because I saw I saw Rich Eisen who went to Michigan. I was just trying to see if there's any new information, and everybody's talking about it, but there is another level of and I saw somebody else say, well, we haven't heard from Sharon Moore yet. I'm just okay. Look. We're trying to figure out what was it. Who was and somebody used the meme of the CEO from earlier.
The astronomer
Coldplay,
CEO
the Coldplay.
Dog, that's crazy.
So,
but I will say one thing. You said bag fumble of the century potentially by Sharon Moore. My guy. He might not even have the biggest bag fumble in the state of Michigan college athletics, because go Google Mel Tucker and what happened at Michigan State if you want to know. He fumbled $90 million of a bag.
No, man. I mean...
Just the Spark Notes version of that is a couple of years ago. Mel Tucker, same situation. He got fired for harassing the do not harass people lady.
Yes, I recall. Look, it's all messed up. It's all, you look at it, and I saw somebody joking saying, the thing is, you got to go to not even his family. I believe he's got 3 kids and he's married, and the person, the football staffer, I think may have been married as well. That's a little bit squirrelier. We're trying to figure that out.
We also don't know if that's her. It's just everyone is.
I don't know. There's a video of them chatting away as well.
Sure. I think people knew that this was going on, and they are inferring that this is what it's about.
So there is that piece of it, right? But it's not even about that part of your family and, messing up a really, really good job. I don't know, a top 10 job, you could argue. Obviously, top 5 in college sports, maybe top 25 in all of sports. Not just that, but somebody was saying it's not about going to your actual family, right? Because obviously you're embarrassed and all that. But if you have certain family members, you are going to get roasted. Like if you got a brother or a sister or an aunt or uncle, they're going to say you fumbled. What exactly did you do?
Yeah, for a guy who, if you'll remember, Sharon Moore was hired because Jim Harbaugh left.
Yes.
Like they were like, well, we're going to keep the program intact, so we are going to bringing Sharon Moore, 37-year-old, to run the University of Michigan.
Yeah, the world is at your fingertips.
With no previous head coaching experience. They were like, Sharon Moore, you're now the CEO of one of the top, I'll say 10 programs in college football. And apparently, again, I don't want to make too much light of the situation, but apparently his first order of business was just to go out here and start, having relations.
Yeah. And again, like I said, man, you got kids and you feel bad for his wife and the kids. And to be completely honest with you, not to get too personal, but there is there's been a similar situation happen with a family friend, right? And I wasn't close with the husband, right? We have the connection to the wife. Okay, and we were at, that trip I tell you about all those years ago in Mexico when we had no kids. It was right before the pandemic, 2019. We hit Mexico for a wedding. Then right after that, we flew straight to Miami. It was an outstanding time. We were partying in Miami, 4 a.m. That's where I learned how expensive Miami was. That Mexico wedding, that marriage is, it's squirrely, and they got a kid. And the dude decided, I'm going to do some the dude, he's going to do. You know what I mean?
Get your Sharon Moore on.
And, it's crazy because you watch these, I'll speak for myself, you watch these Lifetime movies, these crazy movies, and you don't really connect it. And then when it happens to people that you see all the details of it, and it stinks, man. It stinks. And this isn't even with a bunch of $1 million on the line. So I know a lot of people can speak to it and just the ending of marriages in general. It's a sad thing. But yeah, he's going to get those jokes from his family. He's going to get all the jokes from his family.
Yeah, again, this is why the situation is so weird. We don't actually know if this is the end of his marriage or not, or how much she knew.
To be fair, we don't know.
Because the police report is again, I guess his wife had his phone, he had gone on a rampage and went to another county, and his wife had his phone location, and so that's how the police found him. The whole situation is weird. I don't even know if this is a dissolution of marriage. We just hear inappropriate relationship with a coworker leading to your termination, and just infer some things too. And there's a lot going around. It's kind of like the Ime Udoka situation. I didn't know how to talk about that because we didn't know exactly what Ime Udoka did. That would, when he got the Rockets job, I was like, okay, I guess whatever it wasn't that bad. Yeah. So it's hard to talk about it when we don't actually know what was going on.
Or the last thing I'll say when it comes to the tinfoil hat is that a lot of people are saying that Michigan just didn't really believe in him as a coach. And if they did believe in him as a coach, they would have handled this a different way. This was an out for them. They don't have to pay him nothing. The same way it went down with Brian Kelly and LSU. This is firing for cause. So this was an out for them. I have a buddy who is a hardcore Michigan fan, and he essentially said, if they were balling, right, and they got the young quarterback and the freshman and should have been playing, if they were balling or if they had been in the college football playoff, we don't find out any of this. That's their belief. Again, that's all tinfoil hat, but I did feel like I had to say something on it. We're going to know more as the day progresses and as this week progresses. So, yeah, but instead we'll just talk about what Kings want to get out of Sacramento.
Before we finish, just another strike on the news that breaks right as we're leaving.
Yeah.
This just happens all the time. All news breaks at 1:50 in the afternoon, and we see it in the break after we were talking to Whitey and Kayla. Literally, as you were leaving, Kayla was telling me, whoa, did you see this Sharon Moore thing? So news just always breaks right when we're leaving.
There you go. On the other side, we are joined by Chris Watkins and Brendan Nunez, a little Kings Triangle Roundtable. Let's talk to him. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When value matters, Elk Grove Chevrolet delivers. Right now, lease a new Chevrolet Silverado LT for $250 per month plus tax. The Silverado 1500 stands out with composed handling, competitive towing, payload, roomy cabin, and fuel economy. Visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com for full lease details. Don't miss your chance to drive the new Chevrolet Silverado. Stop by Elk Grove Chevrolet today and experience quality that goes the distance.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you are a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels of $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey there, Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys with you, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Every week we bring you a travel tip. With it today, here's Mark.
Most of us who travel have the need for the services of Uber, Lyft, or other ride-sharing companies somewhere along our journey. It's simple and easy to pull out your phone and order a ride. But what about pricing? Personally, it seems like the prices are all over the place. While I'm sure there are busy and quiet times, I have a hard time figuring out the method of their madness when it comes to pricing. But there's an easy hack to check those prices. Next time you're thinking of ride-sharing, check out the prices on more than one site. It only takes a minute. Frequently, you'll find 20, 30, even 40% difference in prices for the same destination at the same time. So go price shopping next time you need a ride share. Even if the prices are the same or very close, you'll know you got a fair price. And if they aren't similar, think of the money you can save over the course of a year.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, joined by Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins. Guys, how are you doing?
Doing phenomenal.
Okay.
We're back in Sacramento for the Kings back home here in Sacramento. Going to be out there at the game tonight. Will we catch?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh,
I'll be there. I'll be at the game tonight.
So we're going to get some fine dining tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly what
we're going to, yes, we are. Yes, we are. Let's start here, and maybe you won't throw me under the bus the same way Sean Cunningham did.
What a guy,
Did you feel crazy for a second as you were breaking everything down and it was like, wait, I felt like Charlie Day connecting all the dots. And
well,
it's like,
look, I'll be honest
Sean
with you.
And Sam listening to here on FanDuel, but not on DraftKings.
Yes, I'll be honest with you. It was a lengthy question. I should have just asked Sean separate. Do you know how up to date? Because I did the same thing with Matt George earlier this week when he hadn't heard about the Sam Amick FanDuel thing. So I think I just need to start saying, hey, do you know or have you heard what's going on? And if so, we're going to ask you what your thoughts are. If not, then I won't ask you your thoughts. But we got there.
Yeah.
We got there eventually.
We've heard what's going on.
Yes,
you know?
and you guys know what's going on, I think. So let's just start there because, again, there is a lot. The whole thing has just been layered like a lasagna over and over and over again. So just your initial thoughts. Let's start with you, Brendan, before we get to Scott Perry kind of refuting or disputing or debunking some of the things, just the Sam piece of it and where he was trying to go on the FanDuel show. Let's just start there. I know you're going to say it.
I'm so tempted to do that. So what are you asking me?
One more time?
I'm sorry, buddy.
Can you just say that one more time for me? Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
I hate to do this to you, buddy, but what the hell are you talking about?
Sorry, I derailed that at the end. Remind me one more time.
Sam Amick FanDuel.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I think that it is mainly have to do. Great way to get to the point there. I think it mainly has to do with him. I think he outlined it pretty well this morning, or I guess Dave more so did. It's more so connecting the dots of, hey, we think this is going to be a process, and it's something that could take 3 to 5 years, and more so that you're expressing that to ownership rather than specifically needing to convince them. It felt like that was the part that Scott was pushing back on more than anything is I don't need to convince ownership of all this, you know, like the alignment that he countless times mentions exists. Yeah, but I do think that what Sam is saying, I mean, there's plenty of logic there, obviously. Like, this is going to be a process. I think that it's going to take some time to retool this. They don't like the rebuild word, but retool this a little bit and find some direction, some sense of an identity.
Yeah. Chris, what were your thoughts on it all?
Yeah, it's been pretty confusing. You can throw another layer into it, too, is Dave, rushing into your studio, making sure, instantly, clarificate, insane. Just absolutely insane.
Did I tell you, I said it reminded me of, I didn't obviously see it, but it reminded me of whatever Kyle Shanahan running up the stairs to veto the trade to Brandon Ayuk to the Steelers. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's just, because I'm telling you, you just see a person's face in the window, and is that Dave? And then Dave just comes barging in. Hey, are you about to talk about the Sam Amick thing? And yes, that's how it went down.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Yeah, it's been an incredible week. I would think I'm still a little bit confused as to what exactly was true about what Sam said, because I don't think Sam Amick would just come out and say something like that. And so, the fact that he said that there's some sort of disagreement over a timeline, I think my read on it is that it's maybe just, things are going really, really bad. There is going to be questions of, hey, are we sure this is still on the same track that we initially agreed to 25 games ago or whatever? Yeah. And still probably him reiterating, no, this is still going to be a 2 to 3 year process. Not necessarily, and that's more what I'm thinking now, is that Dave running in to clarify, Sam Amick, quoting himself and clarifying himself as well. I think it was more of just And then, of course, Scott Perry himself declining it as well. Like, just layers and layers of people declining what was said. I think it's just, yes, they are all in agreement that this thing is going to take some time. But I think Sam's initial report was more just, there have definitely been questions, and people definitely have wondered, like, I don't think this was supposed to go this poorly. Is there any sort of diversion or, like, more immediate action that's going to be taken? Because you're doing this show every day. Like, we all know what the vision is. We all know this thing can't get fixed overnight, but I think everybody is still asking, can we still get better, like, tomorrow? Is there ways that we can maybe improve this thing steadily?
Well, and you know what? I compared Sean Cunningham to Brendan Nunez because if you ask the right question, you will get little nuggets within the answer. So once we got to Sean's answer, once he understood what in the world I was trying to ask, he did say what a lot of people have been saying on social media as it kind of relates to the idea that, hey, they could be on the same page right now. They could be on the same page right now. We don't know. Everybody has autonomy, or Scott Perry or whatever GM has full autonomy until they don't. And that's really the thing we're all just kind of waiting on. Vivek could wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? This is taking too long. So-and-so is available. And that's always my fear, right? Because when we were talking to Sean, hey, they're only 3 games out of the 10 seed, which is insane. We don't know who the new.
I don't want to. Yeah, can we never talk about that again?
I did not want. I said, don't let people hear that, Sean. But we call them the Vavengers, right? When will the next Vavenger? And I don't know who it is.
Incredible.
We did not. I forgot who made it up, Kyle. It was somebody in the chat.
Well, yeah. Shout out someone in the chat said the Avengers, and we had, what was it? Kuzma.
Yes, we have for sure. If a new Vavenger becomes available, that could change everything.
You gotta throw Nothing Like Us in there or something.
That could change everything and derail it. So I think that's the thing. He has
John
full of time.
Collins.
We say Tom Dollins because people get mad when we say John Collins. Yes, but John Collins becomes available, right? Or the price tag ends on Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, you guys get all this out. So we have Buddy Hield because he's going to be Steph Curry. We have Zach LaVine, Kyle Kuzma, John Collins, Jeremy Grant, even though I don't think he actually likes Jeremy Grant. He's just been connected here forever.
Was Cam Johnson a Avenger or just available?
So, no,
yeah. So if another Avenger emerges,
Justin Jackson.
What if he says, hey, you know what? I actually think that we've done enough. And you know what? I don't know that this guy is a Avenger, but we talked about this yesterday. Keegan Murray is 25. We've been spending a lot of time on this because you see it happening with Trae Young as Jalen Johnson has taken a leap, and now Trae is 27, Jalen is 23. What if they say, hey, we can get Darius Garland on a cheaper deal? Darius Garland's only 25. So if you are going through the quote-unquote next wave with Keegan, who's 25, why wouldn't you look – now, he's not my cup of tea, but why wouldn't you take a look at Darius Garland and say, cool, Darius Garland, Keegan, Domantas Sabonis for the next 3 years, and then we work around the edges? That's not your – and then you still get your draft pick, your 2026 draft pick. That is a world where I don't know that the Kings are just going to sit there and – patiently stink for 3 to 5 years and just say we're just going to get all these draft picks. I'm still of the belief they could say, let's just not even cut a corner, just say we're going to add to this Keegan core Keegan is not 22 years old. So that's my question on it, Brendan.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely part of the formula and the options that they have here right now, right? Mm-hmm. It's draft, trade, free agency, and I don't know how much you're really getting in free agency right now for the next couple years probably, depending on what this situation ends up continuing to look like. But I'd be surprised, even if I think they probably should lean more into the, there's a lot of teams that are struggling with salary cap purposes and will for the next couple years. The Kings also are kind of one of those right now, but you could clear yourself from that, set yourself in a situation where, you're no longer the team sending off Rashawn Holmes in a draft pick. Mm-hmm. Instead, you're getting back Omax Prosper by taking on a Rashawn Holmes, in those situations. But I think it's more likely that they probably do that retool that you're kind of talking about. And the balance that you have to strike is, what draft capital are we able to keep, and how good is that draft capital going to be, meaning relative to how good is our team going to be, and balancing both sides of that. But do you feel like you could trade the 2031 Wolves pick and get in a conversation for a Herb Jones or a Trey Murphy if you're throwing DeMar or Zach in there, And I think that's a conversation to be had. Does it take you out of your pick this year? If the thought is still, hey, what's going to change this team is getting a high lottery pick this year and actually nailing that pick, getting one of those two guys, you're probably not even out of the conversation of still being in there for the number 1 pick. Not bottom 4 odds, but you only need to be a bottom 8, bottom 10 to really be in the conversation here. So, I think there's a way to toe the line and essentially do both, but it worries me a little bit because I think this is where they've gotten caught it up before and maybe just made the wrong types of those moves and a little bit too all in of, hey, we're going to trade Tyrese Halliburton, and it's like, all right, maybe that wasn't exactly the pivot move at that point.
Yeah.
Which looks a lot worse in hindsight than it did in the moment, even though I didn't think it looked very good in the moment. But yeah, I think there is a way to do both essentially.
Yeah. And Chris, the reason we've brought up Darius Garland is because we spoke with Greg Schwartz yesterday, and he was saying on the Cavs front, they have to figure out what they're doing because they're spending too much money right now. So the idea would be you're not giving up. I mean, Keon, you won't let Keon play, right? So it's Keon, DeMar DeRozan, and then one or two low-level picks because I don't know that Darius Garland has a crazy market right now because he is expensive.
Yep.
He's 6 foot. And it seems like he's often injured, right? So you go in that direction. You didn't give up a ton. You're still spending that money. You didn't give up a ton. So that's your core. And then you still get your 2026 pick. That to me feels like a deal where you're not giving up a ton of your future. Whereas I do get worried, to Brendan's point, when you start talking about maybe not Zion, but you start talking about the LaMelos.
Anthony
and
Davis,
I just don't trust LaMelo. The Anthony Davis thing, guys like that, and even though LaMelo's younger, I just think that is a move where, again, not something I would do. They might want to do because, if you want to see what Keegan can be, you got to get him some help. And if you don't do that, you can find yourself in a situation where the Hawks, they missed. Trae Young's just kind of doing his thing. Now he's 27, and it seems like the team has kind of passed him by.
Yeah, I think Garland is a guy that just makes a lot of sense because he's also somebody who is an all-star quality player, but isn't necessarily somebody who carries himself like an all-star, if that makes sense. Like he's already, I think Greg mentioned it yesterday. Like he's having to play or kind of adjust his role already to playing with Donovan Mitchell and playing with Evan Mobley, and was still an all-star in that system. I think that's the kind of move that if the Kings are going to make a low level, hey, we can't just be terrible and throw a bunch of Pokuševskis out there. Like we want to have some professional basketball players out there. I think it's something that makes sense because it is fairly low risk as long as kind of exactly what Brendan said. You're kind of taking that risk management of what pick are we willing to get rid of in order to bring in this legitimate talent. And I think Darius Garland just seems to make a lot of sense. I haven't looked at his contract. I don't know how bad it is, but
not great.
You're going to be probably playing and paying a lot of young players who aren't on rookie extensions except for Keegan, and so you're going to have the financial luxury in theory to be bad and still you still have to pay somebody, and so it would make sense to bring in a guy who is all-star caliber and like you said is still 25 years old, has maybe another gear to get to and isn't as injury prone as these LaMelos or as these Zions, or especially isn't as franchise altering as bringing in one of those guys. Like you can bring in Darius Garland, still suck, and have it not be, here go the Kings. If you bring in LaMelo Ball, you bring in Zion Williamson, that just is naturally going to bring a whole nother set of eyes. And if you're trading for those guys of that star caliber and aren't going to be successful, it's just going to bring more criticism, where Darius Garland, I think you could sell as this is just a building block and we have no illusions that this is going to take us to another level.
Yeah.
I'll also point out that I think the New York example of what Jalen Brunson meant to that team and how they acquired him sounds similar to what a Garland could be. This is a dream outcome. Don't get me wrong. This is, You never think Tyrese Maxey,
Oh, no,
Tyrese
we're not doing the
Halliburton,
models again,
Shai
are we?
Gilgeous-Alexander's never going to get his, nobody thinks these guys are future MVP caliber players at the time of the deal. But I think there's a world where you're trying to capitalize on a different team, just it's not an ideal situation for them. And hey, come spread your wings over here. You can be our guy.
Yeah. And you would then have, we're not doing the Knicks model thing, but you would have Keegan as kind of your OG Anunoby in that. And, Neek isn't Mikal Bridges, but he could be similar in a way.
Doug Christie's your Mike Brown.
Doug Christie is, see, you said it, not me. So there is something there. And the other piece of this, guys, is nobody thinks Domantas Sabonis wants to leave. He might want some other people to leave, but I don't think that Domantas Sabonis wants to leave. So because of that, you would be putting together a team that makes sense. You're, at this point, I don't know what type of point guard Domantas Sabonis needs, because the one that he seemed to work well with is in the Riverwalk, beating the Lakers. So I don't know if Darius Garland is the type of point guard that Domantas Sabonis needs, but you'd be clearing out the deck a little. You wouldn't be fully clearing out the deck because you owe him that money, but you'd be saying, hey, Domantas, you want to stay in, we don't have no clue what your value is, right? More people want Zubac than you right now. Let's go with you, Keegan, Darius Garland. We'll work around the edges. You got 2 years, and then we're gonna get our 2026 pick in there. Hopefully, it's top 4, top 5. 2 years with honestly all three of you, and then we move on from there. And we either are competitive. We're probably not at that level, but we're doing enough and we're keeping that same timeline. I think that feels more realistic to me, because I just don't know, unless Domantas Sabonis is just going to play on a bad team. It's just going to be Domantas Sabonis, Keegan Murray, and a bunch of young dudes. We were looking at Detroit last show yesterday, and it took them a while, man. It takes a while. So if you're not going to be able to move off of Domantas Sabonis, at least not right now, I just don't see Domantas Sabonis just kicking it per se while this team is just accumulating draft picks. And then some of the draft picks have to hit. We don't even know what Jaden Ivey is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. It's just the timelines just aren't making a ton of sense to me unless they don't really care about the value that they're getting back for a guy like Domantas Sabonis.
I mean, this has been the core problem since the beginning of last offseason, is that they still have yet, and that's why the December 15th date, though Scott Perry, again, one of his many declines yesterday, was declining that December 15th was going to mean anything to anybody. They have not picked a direction. They still have yet, because even the Darius Garland situation we're talking about, that's living in the middle.
Yes,
that is getting a young, good player, but somebody who's still a good player. It's not somebody who is just it's not an Anthony Black or something. Like, it's somebody who's already on an extension. Like, it's not somebody who's just a true young raw bet. I think that's just the problem with this roster, that we just, even still at this date, do not know. The 2 to 3 years is the closest that we've gotten to a timeline. But to the point you just made about Detroit, it took Detroit longer than 2 to 3 years. So that sounds like, to me, you're more so living in this Sabonis bubble, I guess you could call it, where you're going to try and figure this out with Domantas Sabonis. And I guess that is going to be bringing in players who are a little bit more ready now, if that is true. But, as of right now, it seems that they are still trying to figure it out. But I think a lot of people want them to, again, as they've shouted, lean young, play the young guys, and continue to acquire young assets. But I don't know. I mean, everything else does seem to point to there's no immediacy to figuring out which direction the arrow is going to point.
And I don't know Domantas Sabonis, and I've gone back and forth on this, I do feel like they enjoy their time in Napa so much. I do feel
I think he
like,
would go to Golden State for that reason, by the way.
That's a good
the
call.
only team that I think he would be. And the Chicago thing is interesting. I think there's apparently some ties with his dad and the GM there, so maybe there is some sort of relationship. Maybe that makes sense, but
Reunite
to
with
me,
Kev.
Golden. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Huerter played great with Sabonis, but I think Golden State's the only situation he gets to continue to live in Napa. Maybe that's even closer commute for him. And it's definitely more star power than being in Sacramento. So that's probably, if Sabonis is taking Truth Serum, that's probably his most preferred starry-eyed destination.
Yeah, because to me,
in a Kuminga trade, I guess that would have to be.
I do believe that he would just play it out, right? Or maybe at the very end when he's expiring, all right, let's see what we can do. But I really, Brendan, I just don't see the guy saying, this stinks, get me out of here. I just don't see it.
I think he hates losing, though. I think a lot of people talk about hating losing, but I think he's somebody who legitimately would not have.
He wears it.
He could not have a good time on a losing team.
Well, he's on a losing team.
Man, this wine tastes
and
way worse tonight.
I don't know, but
here or whatever it is. I think he's really not enjoying being on a bad team. I think sorry to cut off your question, Brendan, but I think he came to Sacramento and he was like, okay, this is clearly an uphill or an upward trajectory right now, and then things fell off, and who was at the center of all of the drama last year when things were going bad? There was major division because things weren't going well, and some people felt like things weren't going well because of a certain reason. And I think, again, things aren't going well this year, and look who's not out there. I just kind of think the guy really doesn't like losing, and to Brendan's point, and I'll let you finish, but I think he really has a hard time hiding that losing is not what he's here for.
Yeah, I mean, I think from his standpoint, too, this is a guy that we've heard previous reports about having questions about the direction of the franchise and wanting to see how competitive they were going to be. And if I'm him, I'm sitting there 2 years ago, we had the best offense in NBA history at the time. That has since been surpassed. It has to do with just changing the times as well. But because we ran the ball through me. Right. We played to my strengths. And you found players that also did that. But now, last year, he comes in and is it's different learning to play with Zach. He needs the ball in his hands, and they try to work on it in the offseason. And I think there's progress there, blah, blah, blah. But,
I don't.
When it was my team, minimal progress from a bad starting point, I guess is what I'm saying. But back when you ran things through me, this was working, essentially.
But Brendan, and we got to get to the other side, but I cannot have this conversation with you, brother, without doing the thing about the coach that's in New York now. And I don't want to do that. But I can't have that conversation with you about talking about the coach that's in New York or the point guard that's in the or the point guard that's in the Riverwalk. So I don't know what to do with that. I don't know. You're not wrong. And I know we're here now.
Did that just played a part in how we got to this point?
He wanted it over.
Right. So placing the blame more on those guys rather than the organization, not taking it out on the Kings.
I don't know, but now you want something in a specific way, and I don't know how they're going to be able to attain it.
Well, last thing I'll say, it probably doesn't really matter what he wants.
That's also fair.
Maybe if he puts a bunch of value into, hey, I want to spend the rest of my career here, that could hold some weight to these guys for sure. But right now, we're sitting all here talking about, this isn't a good team. We're expecting everybody to be shopped, right? And he might be the one that has value. And if that's the case, then, I think they're definitely taking calls. Great. I don't know how much it matters anyways, to be honest.
They're definitely taking calls. Who is most likely to get moved? And some of them may already want out. Who could it be? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game and high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The clock is ticking. This holiday season, give the gift they'll really love. A new Honda from Northern California's best Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Happy Honda days are happening right now. Score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas, all at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Join Sky River Rewards today for a chance to receive up to $2,500 in free play. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit us to see how. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Man, oh man, what a week.
Crazy.
What a week. And we are joined by Chris Watkins and Brendan Nunez. Frankie Cardicelli, feel better. Well, no, Frankie feels better.
Yeah.
Now it's the rest of the fam. It's working its way. That's the worst, man. I'll tell you what. It is the worst. And the first time it happened with us, we went to a birthday party, and it wasn't my godson's birthday party, but he was going to be there because it was his cousin. So we had to do it, but it was the first time traveling to the East Bay with the two of them, and we got. We got bad, man. And you think, all right, we made it out. We're okay. And then you just hear, yeah. And oh, no, I thought we did it.
Hive mind, man.
Yeah, so Frankie, hey, man, power through. We got us.
Bless you.
I almost kept the mic on because if it was better on timing, that would have worked perfectly.
We don't need that.
Yeah, thank you.
We don't need that. 339-1140. Get your texts in if you have any questions for the guys. And before the break, we were talking about all of the drama that has swirled around the Sacramento Kings. We're also 30 minutes away from Tony Hinchcliffe tickets, if you want a chance for those. The conversation that we have also had, guys, is how Doug is doing, right? And it feels like something that we've been checking in on with this whole conversation of Keith Smith coming on my show, and then Scott Perry saying, no, there's no disconnect. We're all on the same page. The Keon thing is what it is. He's either going to play, he's going to get traded. We're going to find out. Outside of that, it feels like some of this is working itself out because Dennis Schroeder's been injured. Now no Zach LaVine tonight. But outside of those things, Russ still getting 40, DeMar still getting high 30s. Have you just given up, Chris, on the idea that they're not going to play as much? Because, I mean, at this point, it's December 15th. I mean, now the trades are going to start happening, we think. And I feel like it's to the point where, remember the Malik starting thing, and I just didn't want to talk about it anymore?
Stop, yeah.
I don't really want to talk about the vets playing less because I just don't think, or Harrison Barnes coming off the bench.
Leaving, right.
It's just not going to happen.
Right, correct.
He's going to play these dudes.
Yeah, I mean, I think until they're here, they're going to play. I think it is just kind of a political conversation of like we do have to maintain these guys' value to an extent. I think you had somebody on who pretty much said like it's not as if nobody knows who these guys are. It's more of just if you get moved to the bench on a team that's got 4 wins, it's going to be like, well, why did that happen? Like clearly this is the guy that's part of the problem that they're either not going to want them or that's obviously going to decrease their value or just show your hand that you really don't have any plans for them to be in your future. So, yeah, I think it's kind of as – I shouldn't say as simple as that, but, like, I think it's as cut and dry as that, I guess.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, I think he still should get some praise. I have the tab open right now. I was looking at Neemias Queta's minutes while he was in Sacramento. Neemias Queta played 20 total games in 2 years. I more just want to point out, like, Maxime Reynaud is starting. Like, it got to the point, and Dylan Cardwell has started and finished game. Like, that's where I'll give Doug some credit, is that he has been, though hesitant in other places to go all in on rookies getting heavy minutes, at least in a very, very obvious spot of, like, we need center minutes, especially with Sabonis out. He has not leaned into Drew Eubanks. Dario Saric has not. He's played as many minutes as us 4 combined. Like, it's just, like, he is letting Maxime play, and it's shown good results. And I think again, like, it's just not as cut and dry as it's a given. You're a bad team. Neemias Queta, his first year here, the Kings it was Luke Walton and Alvin Gentry's final year. They won 30 something games, and Neemias Queta played 15 games, like in no starts. And now he's starting every single game this season for the Celtics. Granted, he's not setting the world on fire, but he's 10-8 and has a block and a half a game in 22 minutes. Like, that's something that the Kings could use in a rotational role right now. So, I'm not saying Doug is earning Coach of the Year. I think the results have maybe shown that, is Doug like a JJ Redick, where JJ walks in and granted has better player pool, but that team is even still like surprising people with how well they're playing. I don't think so, but he's kept that locker room together, and he's had the stones to play young guys, and I think that there is a lot of coaches in the NBA who have been around or who would just enter that job their first time and not do that. And so I think I will give him credit there, and I think that he definitely deserves credit on that. We can talk about other things. But
Yeah, you're a lot kinder than I.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I get what you're
it's
saying.
It's also like what's the line of where does the line start and end of what's Doug's fault versus the situation he's been dealt versus the players not playing to their max, to the schedule being hard, to
I was going to point out, like, just the politics of it all, unfortunately, like, is that a lot of what what people will point out is like, oh yeah, bench the guy that has 25,000 career points and is making the most money on your team, and go put in the, guy that is unproven essentially as even like a starter in this league. And like, it's just not it's a lot easier said than done, I guess, which is something I think I've said on here before about this. But it's why I'm curious to see what this will look like after the deadline and after some of these moves start to get altered a little bit here. As I get distracted by ESPN talking about the Kings trading for Trae Young and Luke Kennard. But anyways.
5-team deal. Wow. That's crazy.
Crazy. Zach LaVine headed to the Mavericks.
Yeah, all they had to
Anthony
give up
Davis
was
to the
Zach.
Hawks.
I'm sure
Super
some picks
weird.
there. Interesting.
Yeah,
Doug McDermott,
sorry.
too.
Doug McDermott, poor Dougie.
Kiss to Detroit.
Yeah, the
Buddy
Mavericks
Hield
aren't even
part of the
trading
deal.
anyone. It's just salary dump.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, I do think that rotationally, there's just some sort of tough things to figure out. But to me, Precious Achiuwa is your best big man, and I don't think that I think he should just be your starting center. Like, if you're really, if we're trying to optimize to win games, which is another weird wrinkle of all this, like, are we? I think so. I think. But I think Malik is one of your better players. And when he is out there, you're actually playing to your offensive style a little bit more. And he didn't play the entire second half of that game. That's the Miami game, I believe it was, or Indiana, which is weird. And who knows what happened there, I guess. I mean, I think that Keon should be playing more. And I don't like Russ playing 40 minutes the other night. Kind of crazy.
No,
Even though
it's
Russ
insane.
was balling that night.
Yeah.
There's just, it feels like there's a lack of consistency. And when I hear a head coach come out and say, hey, part of our identity is to defend, rebound, and share, and you're bad at all of those things, it's just, yeah, it's tough for me. And I agree with what a lot of you said too, though, as well, Chris, of, I'm sure that there's certain coaches, if you didn't actually care about all this, to be honest, there's probably some coaches that would have been like, yeah, can we mutually part ways at this point? And Doug's not going to phone it in. Like, Doug's committed to trying to make this work. I think he has good relationships with players on this team. That doesn't mean that every player is thrilled about the situation and happy to be here, but he's trying to piece together a puzzle that probably is missing a handful of these pieces.
Yeah, and, the Sabonis thing has really helped the Maxime Reynaud situation.
For sure, undeniably.
I don't know how much we would have seen Sabonis play alongside Maxime Reynaud. He's getting his
Drew
sea legs.
Eubanks got benched. I will say,
Yeah.
that's I still think that Max would have carved out some minutes because at the end of the day, I think Drew Eubanks was playing, I guess, poor enough that Maxime.
I mean, so that's two of your four players above 6'10" that can't get on the floor. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me. You know what I mean? Because obviously you have Drew Eubanks and the Jonas Valanciunas deal that moved off of him. So none of the Dario Saric, he can't get on the floor either. But you know what? The other thing I wanted to bring up was I do wonder how this thing would look when you brought up the cachet and the 25,000 points, Brendan. I do wonder if there's a level of, look, guys, we keep saying play the young guys, play the young guys. Keon is 25 years old and was an undrafted kind of two-way guy from the previous regime. Nick Clifford, who's starting to get time, was a 26th overall, a low first rounder. Maxime is getting time because of the Domantas Sabonis injury. So I'm saying this to myself as well, and nobody seems to care about Devin Carter playing, right? I know I've been the Devin Carter apologist, but Devin Carter, 13th overall pick, nobody seems to care about him. So who actually are we talking about? The young guys playing. Who actually are we talking about besides Keon?
I think that's just nitpicking the word young, though, and it's like I'll speak for myself. Like I think I use the word young because it's just an easier way to describe those group of players.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No,
Who
for
are
sure.
we talking about besides Keon? Because I mean, I'll talk about Devin, but there's not a ton of outrage about Devin. It's play the young guys. Well, Neek is playing.
Well, when you're
Play
6
him
and
more, I
18,
guess.
you should be playing the guy that was your lottery pick 2 years ago.
But
Devin thing.
No, I
I'm
agree.
on board with playing Devin.
I agree. 25 points in the G League.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris?
No, I assumed you were going to say, but realistically, how is Devin getting those minutes? Like where like it's the problem with how the roster is built. I think there's the obvious of what to complain about, but like the reality is I just don't know. And to further explain the politics of it, it's like Brendan's point of what are we actually, are they trying to win games or are they just trying to develop young guys? With that not being clear, with it seeming like you want to win games, if you bring DeMar off the bench, if Zach's off the bench, if Russ is off the bench and you're still losing, the first thing people are going to say is the reason you're losing is because you have the guy who has 25,000 points and the guy that you're paying the most. You have a former MVP that you're not playing because you're playing Devin Carter, who, is only playing once a month in the G League, and Keon Ellis is a 25-year-old undrafted. Like, so it's just you can't win. If you're not winning games, it's a lose-lose situation. Like, you play the old guys, people want the younger guys. You play the younger guys, people say, this looks terrible. Why don't you play the guys who actually know how to play basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it ultimately feels like, and I don't even know if you can legally do this, like on December 15th, hey, Zach LaVine, and it probably wouldn't be Zach, but DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk at that point, he's 27, 28. These guys just aren't playing. We're just planning on moving them. I don't even know if you could do that.
It gets into the Dallas Mavericks conversation, right? If they got fined when Mark Cuban's last year.
And we know they're not trying to lose no money.
Right, exactly.
We know. No, there's one thing we do know.
There is one fact that you learned today. They are not trying to lose money.
No.
They do not want to lose $1 that they
Lights
don't have
just shut
to
off
lose.
down the studio. That's crazy.
My goodness.
Yeah, that is not going to happen. On the other side, let's talk about Keegan Murray and that timeline. And we want to hear from Brandon Nunes, who also has locker room access, unlike myself, to find out how he feels about certain players maybe wanting to pack their bags. Down south, Sactown Sports.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade. Free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Elk Grove Chevrolet, Western Health Advantage, and OK Tire and Automotive.
Take a deep breath and visualize. It's Saturday. You just won up to $100 instant Kohl's Cash just because you are one of the first 100 in-store customers. Yes, visualize you at Kohl's as a winner. Plus, you'll also save up to 50% store-wide. It's all happening this Super Saturday at Kohl's. No purchase necessary while supplies last on 12/13/25. One card per household. Select style. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 13th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Happy stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more important words. And days is how long you have to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's 2025 Accord, Pilot, and Ridgeline year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you're a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
I'm with Vince Bloom, the big deal guy at Folsom Lake Dodge.
Vince! Actually, this time of year, you can call me the Holiday Big Deal Guy.
The Holiday Big Deal Guy!
Because during the wrap-up the year sales event at Folsom Lake Dodge, you can save over $18,000 net savings off MSRP on a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4.
I'll take it.
And for a stocking stuffer,
keys to a Jeep,
a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Sport S. Right now, I've got one for only $36,995.
That's why they call you
the Big Deal Guy!
So over $18,000 off a Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
And a Jeep Wrangler Sport for only $36,995. But you'll only find these big holiday deals at one place.
That's right, only one place. At Folsom Lake Dodge. In the Folsom Auto Mall.
And online at FolsomLakeDodge.com.
Ram includes 9873 dealer discount plus AD 207 and national stackable and holiday bonus cash. Then SN 667196. Jeep includes 4250 dealer discount plus 12750 and bonus national retail loyalty and holiday cash. Must be current owner of SCA vehicle to qualify for loyalty bonus cash. Then SW 543907. See dealer details. Expires 1/2/26.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. Man, it's a little spicy in here right now, man. That's all I can say on that one.
The side eye's crazy.
Talking to Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins. Yeah, Brendan, I wanted to get your thoughts on this because we talked to Sean a little bit about it, and you guys have both been in the locker room getting great quotes for us, so we appreciate it. What is your feeling? I'll ask you in a different way. What is your feeling on the vibe of the locker room? Like when we heard Malik Monk, what was that, last week when he said, we got to pass the ball? And Malik is one of the rare times we're hearing about the X's and O's, right? Whenever Zach LaVine's talking, it feels like we trying, right? We give an effort, right? That's what we hear from
Makes
Zach.
it clear.
Yeah, hey, we are not trying to lose. So that we do know that, so thank you, Zach LaVine. But what is your vibe the times you've been in the locker room as of late? Does it feel like there's still a belief? Does it more so feel like it's just we're all walking the plank, just waiting for this thing to end? What's your vibe when you're in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of frustration is like this year so far, a lot of my memories are going into the locker room, or man, it's pretty down in here right now, you know, and reasonably so after a lot of these losses. Like to the tone of each guy, I think Domas just wears it a lot and is, hey, you know, I need to go back and watch the film. He's going to be a lot quieter after losses. You see him just wearing it a little bit more. Zach takes more of the approach of, man, you know, we are trying out there, which I think is him countering some of the early reports of it looking like guys have given up out there. And, and it had at times and does still in moments for sure. But Zach trying to make it like Zach seems like he's trying to hammer that point down more than anything, right? But yeah, I mean, there's also a lot of instances where guys are like, man, I don't really know what's going on, you know, and we're trying to figure it out. I think one thing that sticks out to me that you hear a lot is guys saying that I'm trying to figure out where I fit into all this essentially and how I can help the other guys around me. But if everybody's trying to help everybody else around them, then it feels like nobody's just like, who's the guy that it's, listen, you be you out there. And the rest of us are going to like figure out how to play through that essentially. And it doesn't feel like there's an answer, specifically not on a consistent basis. Like in Miami, it clearly was Zach LaVine. You know what I mean? There was a game earlier where Malik went crazy. But it's like, we're going to play through you today.
Yeah, and that was the weird thing, or what I said about the Pacers game, because these dudes are missing 3 guys that got legitimate time in the finals, and they knew once they got to crunch time, that 5-minute mark hit, and it was Pascal work out, right? Andrew Nembhard work out. On the other side, it was Zach, because nobody had really been balling that game. I guess Russ did, but nobody had really been the typical guy. So it was, Zach, is it you? DeMar, you kind of been playing, and they ended up losing because it was almost, they were just doing your turn, my turn type of deal.
Yeah, I think Russ is a really interesting character in all of this to me, because you see his style change, and I feel like you can see him constantly trying to evaluate, okay, what do you need from me right now? And in that Indiana game, it became, I guess y'all need me to score.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is doing it out here, essentially, and I don't think he's going out there trying to get a 20-point triple-double. When he's been in this starting lineup, like we've talked about before, he's doing nothing but passing, actually. He'll have the first 5 assists for the team. It feels like fairly consistently.
Trying to get other people going.
But he looked around and was like, man, so nobody wants to score out here? Okay, I guess I'm going to take this upon myself, And to me, it feels like there is a little bit of confusion about what the defined roles are of this team on a consistent night-to-night basis.
Yeah, Chris, I wanted to kind of close it with you because I went mini viral, if you will, talking about how Keegan was at the top of the key. Well, not like y'all, because Chris went crazy viral a couple weeks ago. But Keegan was at the top of the key. DeMar's in his office, right? And Keegan's defender was kind of in the middle, about to not showing a double on DeMar, but not fully. And Keegan's just sitting there. Keegan ends up getting it about 4 seconds later and travels.
Yes.
So I said, this is the problem. And what I had alluded to was the idea, to Brendan's point, that these guys wake up and DeMar decides, it's been about 3 games since I've scored a lot. Today's my day. Or Zach LaVine, I've had some stinkers. I'm going to be aggressive. Do you agree with me on that? Because, and I think that comes from, no shade to Doug, kind of a lack of, it's not even Doug as much as it's just an actual hierarchy where, hashtag prop talk, the game starts and you think, oh, it is not LaVine's day, so we're cooked, and it just feels like, all right, clearly, you'll wake up and tonight we'll see it. I know Zach is out, and we'll see, okay, DeMar has decided he's going to be super aggressive today, and it's got to be frustrating, I just think, internally, because there's just no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, it does feel like, I don't know if it's specifically, I think it's not by nature, but I think it's the nature of the beast of how they play. It is very, there is no central hub. There is no De'Aaron Fox out there. There's nobody who it's very obvious. You would think it's Zach LaVine is probably the guy they were planning to be the obvious every single night. He's going to be out there scoring 30 like he was the first 5 games. But when he's not like that, like he really hasn't been since that first stretch of the season, it's very whoever has it going that night. And I think we've talked about it before. It feels like it's a little bit of, here's what the game plan is. Y'all can kind of figure out how your games fit into it, and we'll see kind of a little bit of who has it going that night. And, I think that they just kind of trust, again, it's more about getting to the spots and exploiting what the other team is bad at or trying to do that than, hey, it doesn't feel like they're playing their game, right? And it's something Brendan's been harping on since day one. What is this team good at? It's essentially saying, what is your style? What is your identity? It's the thing that Scott Perry said he was going to try and get out of this season. It just feels like they still don't quite know what it is that they're, to use an Allenism, what their bag is. What is the thing that you just mentioned, Andrew, last 5 minutes, Indiana immediately knew. We can be 5-16. It doesn't matter. We know last 5 minutes, we know what we can get to, and we know what we're good at. The Kings have, to your exact point, the Kings have no idea. Last 5 minutes of the game, they say, we haven't been here many times, especially not with this group, and we have no idea who has it going tonight if it's not super obvious. And there's also only if it is Keegan's night, then that really puts to face the development question of is Keegan ready to have that kind of weight shouldered on him? Because I thought the answer to the question of who is the center is what DeMar said for Keegan's first game, right? This is Keegan Murray's team. And so, as Brendan was saying, what is their thing that they're trying to, work around every single night? I think it should be Keegan, but again, it does kind of force the development question of, is Keegan ready for that kind of load?
And his shots are way down over the last 5-6 games compared to the first 5.
Yeah, none of it makes sense. And then the one thing, even though DeMar is having a decent season, the closer thing, he has not been doing the clutch closer thing. Some of it has been missing. Some of it, sometimes he's forcing, sometimes he's missing, sometimes he's a bit disengaged.
Yes, for sure.
So
right?
it's just all over the place, man. That's Chris Watkins. That's Brendan Nunez. Follow them on social media on X as well as our official Sactown Sports account to get all the latest and greatest and all the great work that they're doing. On the other side, let's hear from Sam Amick on the veterans not requesting a trade, and everyone's preaching patience. Also, Tony Hinchcliffe ticket giveaway, so be right by that phone. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This Sactown Sports 49ers report is being brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco improves to 9-4 with a road win in Cleveland, 26-8. Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy both rushed for touchdowns in the victory. The defense was stellar, forcing 2 fumbles and holding Shadur Sanders to just 115 yards passing. Next up for San Francisco is Tennessee. You can catch all the action on Sunday, beginning at noon, right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Sactown sports fans, the countdown to the best live events starts now. The Roots are taking over Hard Rock Live Sacramento on December 27th. Get ready for legendary beats and the kind of energy only the Roots can bring. And we're just getting started. Then mark your calendars. Comedy takes the stage at Thunder Valley Casino Resort with Cedric the Entertainer on January 16th, followed by the sharp, fearless, absolutely unfiltered Daniel Tosh on January 24th. 2 comedy heavyweights, 1 powerhouse venue. Country fans, suit up. Brad Paisley rolls into Thunder Valley on January 30th, bringing all his hits, swagger, and all the good vibes. Then on January 31st, the breakout star everyone's talking about, Ernest, hits Ace of Spades for one night only. You know this show's gonna sell out. And don't forget R&B royalty Jodeci hits Hard Rock Live Sacramento on February 15th. The smooth, soul, and classics, all live. Grab your tickets now before they're gone, and keep up and tune in to Sactown Sports for more epic shows coming your way.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get more for your money at Elk Grove Chevrolet, where value meets style. Lease a new Chevrolet Trax for just $199 per month plus tax. Enjoy its roomy backseat, flat rear window, and simple, attractive interior packed with an 11-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay, and wireless charging. The Trax delivers more for less. Visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today for full lease details and see why the Trax is such a smart choice.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Thank you to my guys, Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins. We're going to do this now so I'm not tardy like last time. 916-339-1140. Win a pair of tickets to see world-renowned comedian Tony Hinchcliffe performing for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley on Friday, December 19th. We're looking for lucky caller number 1. We always got to do it. Lucky caller number 1, caller number uno, caller number 1 to win a pair of tickets to see Tony Hinchcliffe at 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. That's caller number 1. And it looks like caller number 1 has come in. Kyle, before you get to caller number 1, can we get to this Amick sound and just give everybody a lay of the land on what he said on Carmichael Dave's show? I don't know if I've ever played this much sound on the show before without playing a full-on segment. But there's a lot going on, people, and we want to make sure that you are in the loop. Here it is.
Has a good amount of veterans, and we're talking about Schroeder and Monk and Westbrook and LaVine and DeRozan and Sabonis. When that word is out for that group, and some of them may not be long for Sacramento, we don't know that, but how do you think that lands in the camps of the pretty large amount of veterans that this team has?
Jay, just to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, you mean just the concept of everything being on the table and these guys possibly being headed out the door, or the fact that it might take a while?
The more the take a while, because again, no one can put a time on it. If they get everything right and it works in a year, great. If it takes 5, then it takes 5. But for a group that has more veterans on it probably than young guys, how do you think that hits the group that is currently here right now and until they're not?
I don't know, but I mean, I think they know the realities of the NBA. They know, individually how much money they make and how problematic that can make possible trades. I mean, that's the issue here. You got the main 3 guys in particular are making a ton of cash. Now, DeMar to a lesser degree, but it's still a lot of money. And so what's interesting about this situation, and, maybe Giannis is the one to blame because he's setting the new standard of nobody just asks for a damn trade anymore. You know what I mean? There's nobody on the Kings, to my knowledge, who's actually formally asked for a trade. Now, there's certainly, discussions about, of course, certain guys are certain ages and they would rather be in competitive environments. But I think there's an understanding that it might take a while. Now, if you're DeMar, I'll start backwards with that 3. Malik's a different one because he's younger, his money's not nothing, but it's, you feel like somebody, that's probably a less challenging one if they want to do something there. But with DeMar, he was, I don't think really ever expected to be part of the team after this current season anyway. So if you're him, you just ride it out, see where this goes. Zach has a choice to make this summer. If he's really ready to go, then he can opt out, and he can test his market because he has a player option for next year. And then Domas, my understanding is that he's being patient as well. He's frustrated and obviously hurt right now, but yeah, and they gotta wait and see where it goes.
That was Sam Amick, and we have our winner. Congrats to all the winners so far. We have one more opportunity for you for Tony Hinchcliffe. That is tomorrow.
Shout out James.
Shout out James. So that was Sam Amick on the just process and the situation. And you heard him say Domas is frustrated but patient. You know what that means? That's how it sounds to me, Kyle. Hey, I'm staying. All I know is I'm staying. But y'all, you could go. Domas is not worried about his trade value. And I could be ice cold on this. That's just how I understand it. Because the first thing you hear people say when they talk about Domas is how much he does like being out here. It's very similar to Malik Monk. So it's just a matter of, I'm frustrated with this iteration of the team. That doesn't mean that he wants to go anywhere. But we will have to see Chris mentioning the Bulls again and that connection to Domas and his pop. So maybe there is something there. But yeah, all these guys are kind of waiting it out. It's funny, Malik Monk is probably one of the more movable contracts, but we know Malik Monk does like being out here as well and would stay. So, it's just a waiting period right now. I think the Dennis Schroeder thing, there's still something going on there to me, and now he's just kind of been not random, but the injuries that he's had, it kind of came out of nowhere. And Kyle, how many games has he missed now? He's missed, 3-4 games or something like that? So that kind of snuck up on all of us, and I'm not going tinfoil hat, but it's just a bit random how it's happened.
Let's see. His last game was on November 24th. So let's see how many.
That's a while ago.
That is kind of a while.
But again, to not have, I don't recall any type of official. If you're missing, 2 weeks, normally you hear some type of, hey, this is what's going on, or he will be reevaluated. He's just questionable every day. And now he's doubtful.
Yeah, this is going to be 7 games in a row that he's missed.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what to do with it. Other than just he's not playing, and it's kind of bad because it was that game on the Miami game on Saturday where I was like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot he was supposed to be playing.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't out there. I was like, oh, I forgot Schroeder's out.
Is it time to ask the question? Has Dennis Schroeder played his last game in a Kings uniform?
No.
Is that crazy?
My guy still got 2 years left under contract. He will play again at some point for the Kings.
He will play again. I don't know where it's going to be, but he'll be back again.
He'll be back.
You don't know when. Didn't it just go from questionable down to doubtful?
I guess it was questionable the last game. Yeah, you're right.
So it's getting more injured as he sits?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Maybe he shouldn't have been questionable for the last game.
I don't think he should have been.
Maybe these doctors. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Because I know we've had fight with dentists and fight with doctors on the air.
No. We found out that a lot of people hate dentists the last time we had a conversation about I guess I don't even know what we were talking about.
No, it started with doctors, and then for some reason the chat kept evolving it into dentists. So they're like the real scammers. But anyways, by the way, on my plane flight back from Chicago, I sat next to someone who was going through dental school. I learned a lot about the dentist industry.
And now you have more respect for them than the texters.
I do, yes. Now that I understand it much better, I actually do have. Oh, that was the other funny thing. So the 2 people I was sitting next to, one was in dental school, and the person next to her happened to be a dentist. Complete coincidence. They didn't know each other.
Hey, so wow, it's like a Yoda and Luke Skywalker situation right
there. They commiserated for a bit, and I learned a lot about. Anyways,
you're just stuck in the middle of them talking about teeth.
I guess I was technically on the end, but, it's a 3.5-hour flight. I want to chat with people, learn a thing or two.
Learn about root canals. And as painful as a root canal is, probably not as tough as it's been to watch the Kings lately.
Senor Segway strikes again.
That's a 3.5.
That's a 4. That's easily a 4. Kyle, we keep seeing this, and I keep addressing it whenever I see it because I know people want to know. 530, and we talked about this with Greg Swartz yesterday on Bleacher Report. Go run up those numbers. It's on YouTube right now. Any chance Russ has any trade value at the deadline? Greg said no, and I agree with him. That's no disrespect, but Russell Westbrook is probably the best example when we give these examples of vets and everybody knowing what they bring to the table. I know there was a level of, wow, a lot of people didn't know that Russ could still play at this level. I feel like a lot of GMs did, right? But there are a couple options when it comes to Russ. You either don't want him to do all that because you get good Russ, bad Russ, or you just want him in spurts, and it doesn't feel like Russ is great in spurts. He's kind of an all or nothing guy. That's what his whole career has been. So I don't think people woke up I know people did the thing, but I don't think a lot of GMs woke up and saw Russell Westbrook had a triple-double on a Kings team with 5-6 wins, and now we need to go trade for that guy. Could be wrong, but Greg Swartz, Bleacher Report, said, I don't see it, Allen. I just don't see a team saying that's what he needs. Greg actually said, that's the one guy I know for a fact can't change his value.
Yeah, I mean, look at the reality of the situation. Plenty of teams had the opportunity to sign Russ as their backup point guard.
Yeah.
All summer, the Westbrook fans are saying, no, the Knicks are interested, the Bucks are interested.
But not to cut you off, Kyle, because I'm going to hand it right back to you. The thought process was nobody signed him. This is just people talking. Nobody signed him because they didn't know he could still do that. My argument has been they know, they just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing it in Denver last year.
Yeah.
I mean, not to the same degree. Like, he's shooting far better than he has at any point in his career, which I will give him credit for that. But people knew what he was in Denver last year. Plenty of teams, whether it was the Knicks, the Bucks, were looking for backup point guards and opted to not sign Russell Westbrook. The Knicks went Jordan Clarkson. The Bucks went Cole Anthony. And they just decided we'd rather go those directions than bring in Russell Westbrook. Mm-hmm. And you know what happened when Russell Westbrook joined the Sacramento Kings? Immediately took over the starting job, right? So if you want Russell Westbrook as your starting point guard to be a high-volume ball control guy, at this stage of his career, I think he can still do that. But I guess the question is to what end? Because it's not like Russell Westbrook is this $30-40 million player anymore.
And I'll tell you this. The numbers are the numbers. There's no denying that. But I think that some GMs could see even how Russ is shooting and say, look, man, it's one thing to shoot like that on a bad Kings team. Do we really think that Russ is going to shoot like this? After all the years that we've seen, right, his shooting splits, and now he's having a hot start on a bad Kings team, do we really trust that Russ is going to be able to stretch the floor for us in a playoff atmosphere? It's a lot different there, even in games that legitimately matter, and you know, teams are more so they're daring him now, but you're on the Kings, you're losing games, versus, all right, we're the Celtics, we're trading for Russ to make this push. Jaylen Brown's been playing great, and we're in the Eastern Conference, whatever it is. And I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying if I'm a GM, I'm not looking at what Russ is doing in 25 games, right? In 25 games with the Kings in low stakes games and saying, I know for a fact that regardless of what he's done the last 7 to 8 years of his career shooting-wise, he's figured it out now. He's figured out now. I think the corner threes, sure. But as a whole, I think a lot of GMs are saying, it's cool what Russ is doing. Number one, I don't need him to do all that. And number two, I don't know that I trust his shooting is going to translate. Because, again, look at a different name. We've joked about it before, Dennis Schroeder. Now, once he made it to Detroit, he did play well, but he did not have to shoot like that in Detroit. He was shooting the lights out in Brooklyn. He got to the Warriors where it was, hey, brother, we need you to score here. And it was a little bit different. And I think that you have to, Cam Johnson is different. He's a shooter. So people believe that he will continue to be a shooter, even though he's looked rough with the Nuggets so far. It's a little bit different than Russ has never been a shooter, hasn't been a shooter in a while. He's shooting well for the first 25 games in Sacramento, and now somebody's going to say, oh, Russ can stretch the floor for us now. I don't think GMs are seeing it like that.
But here's the thing. Other teams have already done, we've been here before. Like, this is not a new thing, right? When Russ was playing in Houston, this same kind of thing was going on where he was playing complementary to Harden, and that was final destination for the Rockets before they tore that whole thing to the ground. And then he got to Washington, and that was final destination for Washington before they tore it all down. And then he went to the Lakers because the Lakers said, hey, if Russ can figure out the shooting and still has the playmaking, with him and LeBron and AD, it'll go great. And that was final destination for Frank Vogel and that group of the team. And then he went to the Clippers, and then he went to the Nuggets. Like, everyone's already kind of been through this cycle before. They've had plenty of opportunities.
Right. Not all of them got torn to the studs like the Lakers and the Nuggets didn't, but I mean, you lost something, right? The Nuggets lost their coach and their GM.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, that version of the team looked at like LeBron and AD stuck around, but they turned over pretty much everything else about the team outside of LeBron and AD. The Clippers, I mean, yeah, they just decided no more, we're good, which, by the way, people forget Russ had a triple-double in that playoff series that the Clippers lost to Phoenix, I think.
By the way, we're getting ready for the Nuggets Kings preview, and this is from Mark Haynes of the Sac Observer. Sources tell the Sac Observer that rookie Nick Clifford will start for the Sacramento Kings tonight against the Nuggets. So he's going to be starting at the 2, I believe, because Zach LaVine's out.
I think it's semantics, right? DeRozan's a 2, he's a 2.
Right.
You know,
but you don't have a 4. 2 plus 2 equals 4, and obviously
it's just who they're going to guard.
Yeah, Zach LaVine is clearly out, but he does seem to play well against the Nuggets. I know it's in Sacramento, but he's got that connection to Colorado. He actually played at Colorado Boulder and Colorado State. He was drafted out of Colorado State, so he's got that connection to Denver. So that's probably part of just a little tiny part of it as well. Look for him to play well tonight and get some opportunities. So there you have it. Wanted to make sure everybody got that news.
It's Keon Ellis time.
To do what?
To play more minutes.
Well, then it's not Malik Monk time. It's going to be you take one. You take water out of one cup and you put it in another, and you're just putting the water into a bunch of different cups.
All I'm saying is the logjam has been cleared. You've just removed Zach. I mean, again,
that's true. That's a great point. No Schroeder, no LaVine.
Logjam gone.
What's the over? What's the over under on where Keon should get to? If Keon doesn't get to, I'm going to say 15 and a half
minutes.
15 and a half minutes. If he doesn't get there, the brother's going to be on a plane sometime in December.
Okay, if they're playing this right, the way they should alternate the minutes is DeRozan and Monk and DeRozan and Monk and Neek and Keon. One of them should be on some combination of that should be on the floor at all times.
Why don't you bring Devin up?
Let's not get carried away here. I mean, come on, Alan.
Why don't you bring Devin up?
And by the way, look, Malik's going to have to play point guard at times tonight because no Schroeder. So there might be times where Monk, Keon, and Neek all playing at the same time. Logjam is gone.
The logjam is gone.
Logjam has been cleared, at least for one night. Look, they might not win, but I don't think they're going to have the 30th ranked offense in the NBA go out there tonight. Which, by the way, since Sabonis has gone out, the Kings are dead last in offensive rating in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, is Jokic out?
Jokic is available.
Okay, that's all. That's all I needed to know.
Look, to your point about who's going to start the 2, who's guarding Peyton Watson? That's the real question.
Yeah. So a good on Neek opportunity for him. So you could have Maxime and Neek starting together.
Oh,
that's pretty awesome.
Not just that, and Keegan.
Well, yeah, I mean, Keegan's been starting.
But again, Keegan, Neek, and Maxime, the future's here, Alan.
Yeah, I guess so.
For one night only.
Yeah, for one night only, you get a glimpse into the future. And of course, by the time these guys are getting these types of minutes more consistently, they will be further along in their development, and you get an opportunity to do it against one of the best teams in the league in the Denver Nuggets. So there you have it. That's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be a home game. I think Kings fans are going to bring the energy the same way they always do, but I do think there will be a level of, all right, cool. You got Russ, you got DeMar. Those are the 2 vets out there, the adults in the room, if you will. But besides that, we're going to let everybody else kind of do their thing and see what happens. So I think today, if you are somebody that's been some level, as I'm seeing Kings VA on the YouTube chat saying, I'm watching tonight. If you've been somebody that has been a bit tuned out, look, maybe they get blown out by halftime, but at least at the beginning, you're going to get a little glimpse of what the future may look like for the Kings. So that's something to be excited about versus, what we've seen. And again, it's no disrespect to Zach LaVine or DeMar, but, talking to Sean Cunningham, and you can check that out on YouTube in the Sactown Sports app and talking to Brendan Nunez, guys that are in the building, in the locker room, it's pretty clear that some of these guys, some of the vets are honestly, understandably so, just ready for it to end. So you'll get some new blood in there, some hungry players that are still trying to make a name for himself, right? These vets, they've all made a name for themselves. You know, they don't have to really prove anything, and I want to put prove in air quotes because you're always trying to prove something. But as far as this team is concerned, I think that's been the fascinating thing about Malik Monk, because Malik Monk, it seems that he still believes that there are tweaks that this team can make to play better, and I don't even know if Doug Christie is there anymore. Like, I don't know that Doug Christie is thinking we can make one move here to unlock what we're doing. Now, getting Domantas Sabonis back would definitely make them better, but the idea of we still have, look, if we just can do this a little bit more or do this, and I know Sean Cunningham said things can change quickly in the NBA, but this team, and the one thing that's been a bit thrown under the rug or tossed under the rug just because they haven't been good, is that they have been allergic to being healthy. Absolutely, and big names too. Now Zach LaVine is out again. Dennis Schroeder, 7 games. Did y'all realize Dennis Schroeder missed 7 games? Like, that's a lot. And, you know, the Lakers, they didn't have LeBron to start. They didn't have Luka at times, but they're all back now, right? They lost last night, and I know the Spurs are missing Wemby, but they're just studs right now. There are a lot of teams missing folks, but there are a lot of teams that are starting to get healthy. I know the Warriors have been without Steph and to a certain level, Jimmy Butler and Kuminga, even though Kuminga don't be playing. But the Kings have not had one stretch where everyone's been healthy. Not one game.
I'll tell you this, Allen. When Domantas Sabonis returns from injury and he and Keegan get to suit up at the 4 and the 5 together, it'll be the first time this year Sabonis and Keegan have both played together on the floor. The guys who during the summer and early fall we were having debates about, well, which one is actually the most important player on this Kings team? Is it Keegan or Sabonis? Well, we haven't seen Keegan or Sabonis together. I see you rubbing your hands. What's up?
It's not breaking news, but it's happening today, people. No, it's not. 3 hours ago, we were busy. We had a lot to talk about today. From Brendan Nunez, actually. The Sacramento Kings announced that Devin Carter has been reassigned to their main club. Tonight is the night. Tonight of all nights, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my playoff start. You got the Bucks, you got the Falcons, and their defenses stink. I know the Bucks defense can be decent. You get that. You get Kings basketball with the youngins. Oh, my goodness. This Thursday, this is a thirsty Thursday. I might need to go out. I'm going to be at the game, but I might need to go out and get some. Yeah, man. When I get home from the game, baby, we got some libations, okay?
It's going to be like 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's going to be late.
Well, I don't know. You're going to leave at halftime.
I'm probably going to leave at halftime. But, man, oh, man, you got a true high-flying, low-tier Thursday night football game.
You've got Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins and Emeka Egbuka, who hasn't caught a pass since week 2. And then you get the Sacramento Kings, Devin Carter's return. Nick Clifford in the starting lineup. Keon Ellis, you might have to, Kyle, I'm using the metal chipper to chip the Gorilla Glue off of Keon Ellis's butt to get him in the game. Get in the game, Keon. Dust off your jersey, Keon. Dust off your jersey, Devin Carter. Tonight's the night. We got a preview coming up for you on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Outgrove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Thursday, gray overcast skies will be the theme once again, keeping temperatures cooler than normal for this time of year. Expect daytime highs mid to upper 40s, with overnight lows dropping off to the lower 40s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than our 2025 Accord, Pilot, and Ridgeline clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway $9.99 at Elk Grove Boulevard or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Get auto care that values your time at OK Tire and Automotive Tire Pros, Sacramento's family-owned shop since 1965. Need new tires? Enjoy free vehicle pickup, delivery, and a courtesy shuttle. Every fifth oil change is free. From star smog checks to key fobs, our ASE certified team handles it all. With over 870 five-star reviews, you're in good hands. Call today. Our advisors are here Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Now is the time before winter is full on in your kitchen to make sure your heat or your furnace is ready. How do you do that? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating will get the job done for you like they did for me last winter when our system crashed and burned in the dead of winter. Check them out, leesair.com. Right now, get $100 off any AC heating or plumbing repair. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating does it all, and they've been doing it at a high level for 40 years. See how they can help you stay warm and cozy all winter at leesair.com. That's Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. One more chance to win those Tony Hinchcliffe tickets tomorrow. Okay, that could be a little pre-Christmas gift, right? It could be a Hanukkah gift. It could be a Kwanzaa gift. You could go to, like I said, High Stakes. That's the restaurant there at Thunder Valley. We went when we went to the Ty Dolla $ign concert for my wife's birthday, and they do medium plus. I'm trying to tell y'all, they do medium plus. It was very good. So one more chance to win those tickets. That's tomorrow. If you're just now joining us, the Sacramento Kings announced that Devin Carter has been reassigned to their main club, as well as, of course, Nick Clifford, who will be starting tonight. So it's going to be a funny prop talk because there are a lot of names on there with Zach LaVine out, right thumb soreness. Domantas Sabonis still out. Dennis Schroeder doubtful with a hip. For the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon out with that bad hamstring. Christian Brown out with that bad ankle. And Kyle's favorite player, Julian Strother, is out as well. Your favorite player, Kyle?
I just don't know why you hate all the young Nuggets.
I just think they're very bad.
Yeah, Hunter Tyson, he might play.
Speaking of very bad, it's time for Tankathon real quick. So let's get this going. The Kings they're all tied for the sixth best odds.
Sixth or third?
Excuse me, third. So that is...
I'm like, they're not that good.
Yeah, OKC via the Clippers, the Kings, and the Pacers. Because the Pacers beat the Kings.
Yeah, that was a great loss for the Kings if you're playing the lottery game.
That sounds so messed up. That sounds so dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. That's what we're talking about.
How many times did you run it? 3?
Just once. Just
4?
once. I put that on everything. With the second pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Kings select somebody Dave thinks is going to stink. Based on this random collection of information that he has put together in his mind.
Based on him being a like Dave sometimes is the woe is me Kings fan. I've never seen him more woe is me than talking about the prospects.
Yeah. By the way, Indiana in this draft would have gotten the number 1 pick. The Kings got number 2. Kyle, the Memphis Grizzlies jump all the way up to number 3. At that point, that's 10 spots. If they did that, would you then say, okay, now we'll trade Ja? Like, let's just move forward here.
If I knew I was going to get Darren Peterson, I would trade because the Hawks have the Pelicans pick. So if I'm the Hawks, if I'm the Hornets, if I'm the Grizzlies, I guess the Cavs can't. But if I'm any of those teams with the point guard, if I knew I was going to get one of them, absolutely I would look to trade mine.
Yeah, Darren Peterson, he got to play soon. You know, he's had the hammy too. I know hammy's...
He did just play.
Did he finally?
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know. I haven't seen him play in a while. So in today's draft, the Kings get the number 2 pick, and we'll take it. We will take it. The Kings are playing the Nuggets for what feels like the 17th time. The Nuggets 17-6, best in franchise history through 23 games, currently on a streak of 10 straight wins on the road, franchise record, scoring an NBA best 125 points per game this season, 125.9 offensive rating, best in the NBA. Kyle, obviously they moved on from Mike Malone, and that's a champion coach. They move forward. They get Adelman now, and they've been playing well. How much are we giving credit to Adelman? How much are we giving blame to Mike Malone, and how much blame are we giving to, I guess in a lesser degree, Russell Westbrook, right? Or I should say Russell Westbrook / player moves getting Cam Johnson instead of having Michael Porter Jr. And I believe Cam Johnson has not been shooting the ball well, but even still just a better fit, better vibe, less podcasting, whatever you want to call it.
Well, the other part, too, is adding Cam Johnson, because I think the underlying point with your Westbrook, I think their biggest problem last year was they had no bench guys, just no bench depth.
And Brown got paid and hasn't played.
But that's the thing. Moving on from Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson allows them to sign Tim Hardaway Jr., sign Bruce Brown, still have flexibility to make other moves potentially at the deadline, and give Christian Brown that $30 million. I don't even think it was that much. Wasn't it only like $25 million a year? I think Christian Brown's extension was.
It was less than Keegan, but he went way later in the draft. So
yeah, but we all thought he was going to get more than Keegan. But anyways, like it allowed them to do other things too, and now Watson's having a larger role. I know you don't like Strother, but Strother gets a larger role.
That's good for nobody.
Sure, but the idea is now they have bench depth, and I think sometimes it's just as simple as remember last year when Adelman was letting Jokic draw up the plays in the huddle? Yeah. Sometimes it's just as simple as not having ego about it.
Yeah, the Christian Brown contract, you were right, Kyle, 5 years for $125. It is ascending, but it stops at the very end when he's 29 at $28.4 million. So 21, 23, 25, 26.7, 28.4. That's still what I'm looking for, Kyle. Is this the closest thing we're going to get to Allen's game? You know how I've said, bleep it, just start a bunch of random. This is the closest. Now, it's due to injury, but you know how I said, look, these guys just need a break. Give them a night off. right, and go from there. And I don't know anything about the Zach LaVine thumb soreness, but whenever you see soreness, you think a bit of pain tolerance and maybe making a cautious decision versus Domantas Sabonis cannot play right now, right? So, and nobody knows. We need to find something out about Dennis Schroeder's hip by the end of the night tonight. So with that being said.
Well, you're going to be there.
I am. Yeah, I'm going to be there. So you start Neek, you start Keegan, you start Maxime, you start DeRozan.
DeRozan never needs a night off.
No, and Westbrook, right? So you only have 2 vets in there. And then you look at Prop Talk. I was on the app earlier. They got numbers for Keon. They got numbers for Neek. This is, Kyle, in my opinion, unless trades actually happen, and very similar to the De'Aaron Fox one when he wasn't there, but Zach LaVine wasn't there yet either. Kyle, this might be the closest we get to the Allen game where you just get a completely different starting lineup rotation than what we've been seeing. I'm telling y'all, I'm not promising anything as far as the game is concerned. They might get their doors blown off, and we're about to guess the spread. But this will be one of the most refreshing rotations that you've seen, simply because Doug has his hands tied. He can't play the vets because 3 of them aren't available.
Yeah, but that's crazy that you're saying that, because all you're doing is removing Zach LaVine from the equation.
No, Zach.
And Schroeder, but Schroeder's
been Sabonis.
Sure, but they've been gone. Schroeder's been gone. This was never a question with the front court logjam. It was a guard logjam. You've just removed one piece from the logjam, and it feels like it's refreshing. Which, by the way, unless they change the availabilities, none of the two-way guys are available tonight, which means they only got 12 guys, and 2 of them are Dario Saric and Doug McDermott. So they literally only have 10 rotation players available to play tonight. And maybe that is why it feels like there's opportunity for everyone now.
I'm telling you, man, this is what we needed. Like I said. And you know what? This is actually a good call as well for the tank squad, for the tankers. Those that want to tank, this is a look into what your future could look like. This could be you could have 4 to 5 years of a version of this. I'm serious, Kyle.
No, but specifically saying this is the look at your future while they're about to play a team that is on a 10-game road winning streak.
This could happen.
And the number 1 offensive rating in the NBA. Like, this is a look into your future. You will get the young guys, and you'll probably hit all the checks on the Whitey Gleason checklist of things to look for, but you also might lose by 35 points, and Jokic might go for another 37, 22, and 17 like he did last year.
I'm just saying, this is what everybody says. I'm good with the tank. We'll support a tanking team. You're going to get a chance tonight. And you know who you are. Don't change that channel, because YouTube won't let you go split screen with the local. So, and it's on Prime tonight anyway.
You better not go watch Kirk Cousins.
You better not. If you want to stand on business, you stand on business and you watch tonight. All right? That's what you got to do. Kyle, we're about to guess the spread. Let me know when you got the spread ready. I'm telling you, we just want to tank. You watch it tonight, and you watch it good. You don't turn around, and you don't turn away. You don't change the channel.
Yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go Nuggets 13.5.
No Zach, no Schroeder, no Sabonis. No, I'm fine. I am going to outdo Vegas for once in my life. I'm done respecting the Kings when it comes to Vegas. I'm saying Nuggets do play with their food. I'm saying Nuggets 16.5.
So just for reference for people listening, what's about to happen is it's probably going to be more than that, and Allen's going to say, Vegas is disrespecting the Kings.
No, I told you I wasn't going to do that anymore.
I would hammer that number for the Kings, and every time he says that, they cover.
No, I told you I'm not going to do that anymore. 16.5. Kyle, you said 13.5?
I said 13.5. Okay. We do not have a correct answer, but both of us went a little too far, I think. It's only Nuggets 10.5 tonight.
Don't like that.
So hammer the Nuggets.
That's too much respect.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, that's too much respect.
I guess we are ignoring that Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon are out for the Nuggets.
Yeah, Yeah, and the Kings got him last time, and I know the Kings were missing somebody because they're always missing somebody, but they got it done. On the other side, you know what? I do think they were missing Sabonis in that game, and they still won it. On the other side, Whitey Gleason, Kayla Anderson to close out the show. We got prop talk, not just for the Kings game, but also for, I'm so excited, Thursday Night Football. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton & Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations, covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, live with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies, right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch, so you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement, 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The winter service event is on at Maida Subaru. Now is the time to let Maida Subaru get your Subaru road ready for the winter weather with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper blades, and more. See all the service specials at MaidaSubaru.com.
Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
On Sactown Sports.
I grew up in the purple glow, Arco Thunder in my bones. Back when 2002 felt like a promise card of stone.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. Whitey Gleason, Kayla Anderson. Thank you for hopping in a little bit early and chatting with me. We appreciate it.
Oh, we won't forget it.
But
you're welcome.
All right. Well, how has your life been since the interview yesterday?
It's been a whirlwind, Alan.
Yeah.
He's signing autographs, I heard.
I can imagine.
Yeah, he's forging them outside the arena, selling them.
Did you? So I don't know. You don't get a lot of time to kind of do this, but did you take time? Because when you're doing an interview, it's a little bit different than when you're listening to an interview. So I'm sure I don't have to tell you why do you go back, kind of listen to it. Have you done that at all? Was there anything that stuck out to you that Scott Perry said either in the moment or in that second listen, or was it all just kind of face value?
Listening the second time, because we played parts of it again, at 5, we played excerpts. And the word he used to describe their inability to start to establish what they want to establish, I think he used the word uneven, and I just thought I didn't catch that the first time. And I think that speaks to everything going on where, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or maybe the other way around. But I hadn't caught that he'd used the word uneven. I think that was a really good description as they're trying to factor in all these different elements with the young players, play the young players, the log jam and all of that. Yeah. So that caught my attention. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, they obviously some of this, a lot of it is due to injury, but you have Mark Haynes reporting that Nick Clifford will start tonight. No Schroeder, no LaVine, no Sabonis. And Kayla, I know you had asked a question about some of the younger guys. Feels like a night and an opportunity for fans to see maybe a glimpse into the future. Obviously, development-wise, they're not where we hope they will be. But, it's happening not based on choice, really, from Doug, but by force. But, hey, either way, it'll be a little palate cleanser, if you will, a little ginger from when you're eating some sushi versus what we've typically seen.
Yeah, so what have we typically been eating?
Oh,
like
7-Eleven sushi?
Oh, yeah, or the 7-Eleven footlong, like hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, they're just spinning.
Yeah, they're just spinning for
all
hours.
Or the 7-Eleven footlong sushi.
Oh, I don't
dang,
know.
That's like a hybrid, man.
No, thank you.
But yeah, how about this? Let's say it'll be refreshing like a 7-Eleven Slurpee.
I like that.
Maybe a mix of the Coca-Cola with the cherry.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
There you go. I just go straight
same wavelength.
Coca-Cola.
I
feel you. Yes.
Kayla, you notice how he's so nice to us now, but when his show started, well, Keith Smith was done wrong, and he was on my show, and
I was going to skip over it, Whitey. That was hours ago.
I get how Allen has to defend himself sometimes.
No. Keith is one of my favorite people to have on the show, and I just wanted to make it clear that it didn't seem. I asked Kyle because maybe I'm not objective. It didn't seem like to me Keith was saying, yeah, there's a disconnect, or reporting that there was a disconnect. He's saying, I know what I've heard from the front office, and he ain't playing. So it was more of a seems to be. But yeah, obviously
You
Scott
kept saying
Perry
it wasn't reported. Why does the word reported matter?
I think it does matter.
But no one said that he reported it.
But if somebody is saying, if Scott Perry is saying, and I'm paraphrasing, but I believe he said, no, that is also false. Well, what is false?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was false?
That there's a disconnect.
Exactly.
But
that
wasn't reported.
No, but I think you're taking it as a report because that one account on Twitter called it a report when they clipped it.
Yeah, maybe. But
and that's what you've been stuck on.
Way too much going
There's
on this week.
a lot of reports.
A lot of reports.
Yeah.
And I'm counting down to the 15th, just waiting.
I had asked him about that because I'd heard that comment had ruffled some feathers. That's why I asked him that. Yes.
Well,
specifically that.
We'll see. Like I said, get the ice pick and
I was wondering what you were doing
get
there.
Keegan's butt off the bench. Let's see if he doesn't play 15 minutes tonight, we're done.
Yeah.
You mean Keon?
Keon Ellis, you mean?
Well, no, Keegan's going to play 87 minutes, but
True.
Keon,
No,
I want to set the line at 20 and a half, actually.
They'll pull Keegan in the fourth quarter.
20 and a half. No, they will not. He's going to play 45 minutes.
I guess I should say they didn't do that against the Rockets.
No, they won't. They won't. 20 and a half minutes for Keon, or just get on the plane now. I don't know where you're going, but just get on the plane.
It doesn't make. I will say this, in all fairness, it still is a confusing situation, even with Scott Perry coming on here and, pretty much saying, hey, we like Keon. I heard you earlier talking about that, like liking a player and actually thinking they're right for what you're doing right now, and that roster or the situation in general doesn't mean, he's not on his way out.
Right.
So I get that part too. I think we're going to find out here soon if they really like Keon Ellis for this team moving forward.
Right.
I think that's the biggest question.
I think that's a great point, Kayla, because I'm to the point now, and you know me, I watch Lifetime movies, reality shows. I love all the drama.
Did you see the P. Diddy?
No, but everyone keeps telling me I need to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
Please do.
I love drama. I'm to the point now where there was so much going on this week. I'm just ready to, you know how all the texters will come in and say, let's just wait and see.
Yeah.
Brother, I got to do a 4-hour show. You can wait and see. But I'm to the point now where some of these particulars, I am in wait and see mode.
Sure.
I also thought of you when Scott Perry said, just because there's a date, that doesn't mean that things are going to start happening. Because we've all been, waiting and talking about December 15th. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's lowering expectations. But I know I will be disappointed if, nothing happens. It probably won't. But I thought of you because I know you also will be disappointed.
I will be very disappointed. And trust me, I got a feeling we won't have to wait. Birds are chirping. Look, man. Woo. Kyle, let's get into a little bit of prop talk. With that being said, can't give him too much, Kyle. Can't give him too much. All right.
Can't lie too much.
No, I'm not. Let's start with Falcons Bucks. Of course, I am rooting for the Bucks because my playoff start, I got Baker Mayfield. There are some random names here. Payne Durham, I guess. I don't know if Cade Otton is not playing tonight. It's a bizarre game, which means you should probably take unders, but we don't do unders on this show. Finally, he's going to break out. Mike Evans is questionable. Mike Evans, I'm going with him as a decoy. Emeka Egbuka is finally going to show back up. He has not hit this line in a month. Okay, they got him at 50 and a half. I'm going to take it. 50 and a half for Emeka Egbuka.
I would go that way too. He's been my fantasy guy and kind of let me down the past few weeks. What's Baker's number today?
Baker passing?
I think we're talking about Baker,
very high, I don't think.
Baker's at 219 and a half.
Oh, give me the over.
Yeah, 219 and a half. And Whitey, I know you love quarterback rushing yards, so 19 and a half for Baker.
I also had Egbuka, but I will take him for an anytime touchdown.
Okay.
I
like that one. Kyle, who you got for the high-flying Bucks-Falcons game?
In the same spirit of your take, by the way, I just pulled up the app. We officially have Phillip Rivers props available.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable.
Incredible.
And one of the Colts reporters is saying 2 days in, I'm convinced they're starting Phillip Rivers.
Woo-hoo. Wow. We didn't have time, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, but Cam Newton saying he finds it a bit disrespectful that he didn't get a call.
Oh, gosh.
And there was also a larger conversation about this is how bad the quarterback development is, that You
I've
trust
brought that up before.
Phillip Rivers more than a third stringer to read this defense. But Kyle, who do you have for that game?
In the same spirit as you, Allen, I know you love those quarterback rushing yards, so I will take Kirk Cousins a half a rushing yard.
No.
A half a
I will take a half a rushing yard on Kirk Cousins.
They're falling for
and
it.
he'll blow out his knee.
You know who is good at that,
Oh,
though?
yeah, make fun of me, Whitey, but guess what? Mine is going to hit. And
All right. If you're going to do it in a primetime game. You know who's money for that? And they'll set him at 0.5? Jared Goff. Jared Goff in a big game, he's going to get you about 3.
Now, give me all the props for, I cannot think this is funny enough. As Quavo called him when he first went to the Falcons, give me the props for Kirko Slangs.
Okay, I thought it was Kirko Chains as well.
Chains.
All right, let's get to the Kings. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to take the cop-out. Not because, honestly, because I think this could get out of hand, to be honest with you. 8.5 for Nick Clifford.
I was going to go with Nick, too.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Honestly, then give me Keon Ellis 6.5. I think they're going to have opportunities, is what I'm saying.
There's not as big of a logjam tonight.
Yes. And if this thing gets out of hand, they're going to get time. I'm staying away from the starters, Whitey. Besides the typical starters,
I'll take Renault points, rebounds, assists.
I like that too. See, we're all kind of doing the thing. Hey, we think they're going to win, but we're all doing the thing. Kyle?
Keep doing the Keegan stocks, the steals, blocks, but also Westbrook 7 rebounds.
Okay. Well, he's playing no matter what, too.
Well, he's also just rebound. No one else is rebounding. It's just going to be Westbrook.
It's him or Keegan Murray, so it could be either one of them. Thank you to Sean Cunningham. Thank you to Chris Watkins and Brendan Nunez. Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter. Great job, as always. Thank you to Whitey and Kayla for an outstanding
Thank you, Alan.
With Scott Perry. All the debunking was debunked and very much unbunked. We will talk to you tomorrow. Until then, secure the bag. Light the beam.
Light the beam. Don't forget my podcast.
I don't. What's the question, Alan? I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER